up, guys? This is Donovan, and this is the 4th episode of Please Stop Talking. I have Brett here with me, as always, and this is the first time I've tried recording this intro, and this is the last time I'm going to try recording this intro.
Oh,
Brett,
God.
what's up?
I'm sorry, you guys missed the blooper reel of him going, "I'm coming at you live." Like, he was just...
Hey, you want to know what? All right. It just sounded really gay. All right. Get on to the first fucking topic. News.
Man.
You're doing the news this time. Fuck you.
Well, because I'm doing news, we're going to look at some things. I don't know if anyone else has heard, but Apple is getting rid of their gun emoji.
Actually, wait, real quick. Shout out to our one follower on SoundCloud, Cheyenne Reyes, 9724.
Contact me on Skype. We might let you be a guest.
Yeah. Go ahead. Find us on Skype. If we can somehow figure out how to fit you into this ridiculous fucking schedule, go ahead and hit us up on Skype.
I'm at Brett Varg. Okay, I'm dead serious. I will love to have you as a guest. Like, why do you listen to this?
Seriously, what? Do you just follow everything that you see? Like,
okay, let's go on to the news.
So, yeah.
Okay, so you showed me this. Apple is changing their gun emoji to a toy gun. It looks like a laser beam thing, or a water gun. It's a water gun. And because apparently people were like sending death threats, and like one guy like sent his wife like a gun, and that's apparently a threat. And one kid's like, "I'm gonna hit my school," and it was like a bomb and a gun. So like, you know what? Let's stop that, because apparently emojis are threats now.
See, to me, if it was like a husband and wife and the guy sends her a gun, like that's like a euphemism for a dick, isn't it? Like people usually use the eggplant, but it's like, "I got my love gun, baby." There was literally a fucking Kiss song called Love Gun, and it was about the dude's dick. I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think they were divorced, and she felt threatened because they were already like I know not divorced, they're getting divorced, something like that. They're separated. So Microsoft decides, you know what, fuck you, Apple, I'm taking my toy gun, which looks like a ray gun from like Call of Duty, or like a toy ray gun, to a revolver.
Nice.
So
it's fucking exact polar opposites. And this is, I mean, it's kind of, you know, that's sort of Apple's MO, is they just cave to like constant pressure all the time, right? That's like their deal. They're just like, oh, whatever's popular, let's do that. And now, like, you know, gun control is popular and political correctness is popular, so they're just like, let's fucking do that. And then Microsoft, it almost seems like it's a direct response to Apple changing it. They're like, let's make ours a revolver. Yeah. Let's make ours a revolver. Let's do it. You guys, it'll be so funny.
Well, like, okay, let's say, what does changing it to a water gun entail? I mean, it still has if it has the threatening idea behind it, what does changing a water gun do? It's just a gun still. It's still...
We've discussed this at length in a section of the podcast that you guys likely will never hear because we edited it out, but yeah. Both of us seem to think that the intent behind bad language is more important than the actual bad language itself. So it's like, if you say to somebody, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," that's the same thing as saying gun, face, whatever. Like, you know, it's basically the same thing. It's just that one of them slightly more retarded. But yeah, so we talked about that already, but yeah.
Well, like, I want to say this. Like, Apple is always seen as good guy Apple. And like, even my girlfriend says, "Oh, good guy Apple," because there's this person I know who was a child who's like 10 or 11 who wanted to kill themselves, or they said they did, and they're like having a whole like meltdown, and he asks Siri, goes, "How can I kill myself the best?" with his mom's phone, because he was trying to get attention, really, is one of the reasons he did this. Apple just like, when you apparently say that, Apple, I guess, Siri's natural response is supposed to be send suicide hotline numbers, just like one. And I know someone who's like, "Oh, that's good guy Apple." I'm like, Apple wants to look like the good guy, but they are just a corporation just as much. I mean, I remember I was listening to another podcast, and they were talking about how they bought a movie on iTunes, and if you buy the movie on iTunes and download it, this is a long time ago, you couldn't download it again. You would just have to buy it again. Like, it would say, "You bought this before."
Yeah,
you want to buy it again.
I remember that. And
that's way messed up. Like, yeah, you own a...
Like, it would like warn you, like, "Oh, you've already bought this. Are you sure you want to purchase it again?" It's like, no, just fucking let me download it again. Let me access my fucking thing that I paid for.
And the only way to actually like get it again was you'd have to call Apple and be like, "Hey, my laptop was stolen. Can I get it again?" And they would decide yes or no, you know,
you could be like, and just lie. Just be like, "Hey."
would call Microsoft support and be like, I bought this movie and it didn't work. Can I get more money or my refund back? And she would do this for every movie she bought.
She did it all the time, and she like bragged about it. I'm probably gonna bleep out her name, but
okay, her name is. You wanna drop her gamer tag?
I'm gonna cut that out too. I guess it was
Fine.
really fun.
Fine, whatever. No one listens to this anyway.
It might someday if we don't continually have these awkward silences that we fucking are so goddamn fond of.
Okay. Yeah, but go on to the back to the gun emoji. Apple is wanting to look like this great big...
Did you finish your story? Because we just had like 8 tangents.
I just said they always want to look like the good guy, but really they aren't the good guy. They're just a corporation, which led into the whole idea that they will still charge...
I mean, because you were telling the story about Siri and the guy that you know.
And I said that they...
Finish it? Like Siri...
Okay, yeah. Well, I guess I'll finish it, and you can cut it out if I already did. Well, the Siri gave them, like, suicide hotlines, and it's just, and the mom and this girl were like, yeah, it's such a great guy, they're helping us out, good guy Apple, sending us the suicide hotlines instead of actually giving them a reason, like an answer, like, through Google search. They intercepted it. I'm like, they're not a good company, they're just a company, and companies will cut corners no matter what has to be done. There's evil companies, and then there's less evil companies. Like, people want to donate...
There's, like Nestle. Nestle is like an evil company.
Yeah, and then there's like Goodwill, which is like a less evil company.
Yeah.
They're still a company because people say they're not.
Goodwill has Goodwill has some shit about it that is it's like not savory. Like I've heard some shit about them that I know wasn't very good.
Yeah, like a lot of
I'm sure there are wholly good companies though.
Well,
obviously it would have to be a non-profit company, but I'm sure there are good non-profit companies.
Well, like Locks of Love. Locks of Love. You know how you can donate your hair if it's long enough?
Mm-hmm.
They actually just take your hair and make a wig at a very high price and sell it to people. Then those proceeds go to people with cancer and stuff. While Pantene does one where you don't need as long as hair. They take curly hair and all their hair goes straight to wigs for cancer patients. So just because people think like it's great is really not a good way. Like you really need to do your research on any charity organization.
Both of those are fine. Like I have to imagine that the money that they're getting is probably more beneficial than the wigs. If they sell the wigs at like a super high price.
I don't know how much money goes back towards cancer patients. Because if the wigs could be made for the cancer patients and be free, that would be a lot more beneficial for the people who want a wig.
Well, like a better example, I think, because yours is stupid as normal. SGDQ and like AGDQ.
Yeah.
They alternate like what charities they donate to. Like this last time it was Summer Games Done Quick, so they donated all their money to Médecins Sans Frontières or Doctors Without Borders. And that company is, basically I went and I did research and there's a site that like shows when you donate to a company, like where does all their money go? Like what's their overhead? How much actually goes to this thing? Blah, blah, blah. And it turns out, for one, if you ever watch a GDQ and you donate, it turns out that all of the money that you're giving is going to the charity. Like, they're not taking any of it.
Yeah, Twitch usually doesn't. It won't take portions of it either.
There's various things or whatever, but thank you for interrupting. That was sort of stupid thing to say. Like, okay. Twitch isn't going to take any. That has nothing to do with what I'm saying. But they showed on the website, the other thing that they donate to is the American Cancer Foundation, right? And it showed that the American Cancer Foundation, for like every $1 that you donate to them, only like 65 cents goes to cancer research, whereas for Doctors Without Borders, it's like 97 cents goes to helping, less, what's the word? Helping
less fortunate
people. How did I blank on that? Like, I was
really
socio-economically inclined. Like, what? Like,
I was really confused. I'm like, is he looking for fortune or is he trying to go for a different word? Because
I completely blanked on that, man. But yeah, it's like 97% goes to 97 cents of every $1 goes to helping less fortunate people and, getting medical care to people who need it. So if you're donating, the gist of this is if you're donating to a GDQ, try to donate during Summer Games Done Quick rather than Awesome Games Done Quick, because more of your money is going to a good cause rather than just, paying the CEO or whatever of the American Cancer Foundation or Society. Is it Society? I think it's Society.
Well,
American Cancer Society.
Like, I don't know if you ever noticed in the month of October, it's breast cancer, and like all the football players wear pink. Like, I think every dollar spent, only like 3 cents goes towards breast cancer research. And
that's solid. That's really good.
You know,
that's really high. That's a high amount. And that really is really not a terrible thing to do to people at all. People think that they're doing a good deed, but it turns out their money is just being wasted.
Well,
that's awesome.
Well, like, I'll never donate to businesses usually. Like, I haven't donated because I missed it, but I was going to donate during the next one, during Awesome Games Done Quick, right?
You should wait until Summer Games Done quick.
Yeah.
That's what I literally just got done saying.
I know, but I'm saying, because I think don't they switch at least some of them? I thought they do some switching.
They switch. What it is Awesome Games Done Quick goes to benefit the Cancer Foundation or Society or whatever, and Summer Games Done Quick goes to benefit Doctors Without Borders. So if you miss Summer Games Done Quick, you should just wait until the next Summer Games Done Quick rather than donating to Cancer Society and just paying the CEO, basically. Obviously, it's most of your money still goes, but that, what is it, 65, 95, that 32% is just going straight into the CEO's pocket or the board of directors' pocket. And it's not helping anybody with cancer, and it's not helping anybody get treatment of any kind.
Like, when you go to Walgreens and donate during their Red Nose event, if you ever look, all it says, like, if you look in the fine print, it'll say all profit goes towards whatever they're helping. I forget what Red Nose does. But so that means that if those noses cost, 50 cents to make, and you donate $1 to buy one, they only sending 50 cents there. And you're like, oh, well, they're still helping out. They just have to recoup from selling these noses. Well, also, when they do that, they can write that stuff off on their taxes. So it's even less than that on how much money they actually spend on those noses. Because they want you to donate to, like, the Stars Foundation and all those other organizations where they're like, oh, put your name on the wall. It's because they write all that stuff off their taxes. So they look good as donating, and they get an extra little, kick to help people, or to help their own business. So people aren't really selfless. There's no such thing as selflessness in anything anymore.
People say that all the time. I don't think that that's true. I think that there are acts of selflessness, but you're never going to see them because a true act of selflessness isn't publicized. Nobody's going to hear about it because it's something that you're doing literally solely to help other people.
Well, yeah.
And you're never going to, if that's what it is you're never going to hear about a true act of selflessness because somebody who's truly doing it selflessly isn't going to advertise it.
Yeah, like I saw a video of a guy who went up to like a homeless man and gave him $16,000. So like videotaped himself doing it, and the guy was like crying, and he handed him like a hug and stuff. And I'm like, everyone's like, oh my god, you're such a great person, blah blah blah. And I just commented, he's doing this for what you guys are doing. He's getting views, on his YouTube channel, and this is what he's going to lead into, which is like he's going to earn money this way. What you guys see is you see one act. He didn't give up $16,000. He's gaining $50,000 because he's going to get all this.
Does that make the act bad?
No.
Like, I don't understand what you're trying to say here.
It doesn't make it bad, but people want to say that it's selfless when it's not. It has its own benefit.
But it's still a good thing to do. Like, I would like it if people, and maybe they do, but I'd like it if people did more things selflessly and they didn't do it to, get attention or whatever. Like, like Facebook charity. Like, oh, hey, I went and I donated money to this thing. Look at me on my Facebook page. Like my picture, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't like that. But the fact that people seeking attention is getting them to do good things, like donating money to charities and stuff, if that's what we have to deal with is people being attention whores about it, then I think it's all for the greater good. I think that's better. I think that the positive outweighs the negative in that regard.
I'm just going to shift gears right here. I freaking hate that Facebook activist. I really do. Like, who changed their Facebook picture that little, like, French overlay.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's just stupid because it doesn't benefit anybody. Like, I'm talking about people who, like, don't donate money and then they say, like, oh, I just donated at this place on Facebook.
Yeah, I know. I just want to say that. I really hate that Facebook activist thing. That's it's the dumbest, like...
Or, like, the ice bucket challenge, whenever that was still going on. Like, you could say, like, oh, well, they were just doing it for attention, blah, blah, blah. And that was the whole point, and it did end up raising millions of dollars for, not MSF, ALS research. It ended up raising a whole lot of money for them, and I think that if the price to pay for that is, like, this dumb gimmick that's going on all the time, and it's just clogging up YouTube with all these ice bucket videos, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
I don't know a single person who actually donated. I understand that people did donate. I don't know.
You don't know that many people, though. a lot more people saw those videos than you know.
Well, I know people who did the challenge. And
millions, probably billions of people, I would say.
Oh, I know.
Maybe not billions, but at least like a billion people saw those videos.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many people actually did it though that paid. I think that like it definitely helped to give yourself.
I mean, yeah, you can say I don't know that many people who paid, but the facts are the facts. It raised millions of dollars.
Oh, I know.
Like the difference between the ALS Foundation's donations last year or the year before and then the year that they did the Ice Bucket Challenge, it was millions of dollars. So you can say, I don't know who did, I don't know anybody who donated, I don't know anybody, but it doesn't matter that you personally don't know anybody who that's fucking, fuck my ass off, dude. Why am I forgetting words so much?
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying it got enough for every one person who didn't donate, or for every 9 people who didn't, there's one person who did, which is a lot more higher than the one person out of 100. It's way better, and I understand that. I'm just saying is that, I'm not saying that, like, I'm just saying is that alone, that idea alone generated enough press that just because people didn't donate, it didn't really accept it. Just, it didn't really affect it too bad because there's enough people who did actually donate and go through with the whole, like, part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Because brand recognition's the thing.
It's just this, you have this weird, the way that you're talking about it makes it seem like you're like against it, whereas it's like, but then the words that you say afterwards are like, oh no, I'm not against it. It's like, I don't know anybody who donated. Like, okay, cool. But it doesn't matter who you know. No, let's get off of this because it seems like I'm having an argument with myself at this point. Like I don't fucking know.
I don't know where we're going with it. Let's just move on.
Apple gun emoji stupid. Microsoft gun emoji good. Go on to the next one.
It's awesome. We're gonna look at the one where it's there's a ban that's been lifted that we had. I didn't know that was a real ban, but apparently it is. The National Institute of Health announced today that the agency soon expects to lift a ban on the combining of human stem cells to animal embryos, which would create something that is part human, part animal, or just really badass ants. Is what I'm told. And
they call it a chimera,
which is just an awesome name. I know. like can I be one of these? Like, get me in there.
Like that's the official term. They're gonna create fucking human animal hybrids called chimeras. It's like holy shit. Was it gonna have like a lizard, like a scorpion's tail, and like fucking wings, and it's gonna have like an eagle's beak. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna have legs of a grasshopper and just be jumping.
It's gonna have the mind of a human being.
Oh my god! This is the end of the world right here. This is the creation of our end.
It kind of goes back to what we were talking about last podcast, where we were talking about this one is. I mean, I guess it has implications like for organ transplants and stuff, but like this is sort of the same deal as we were talking about stem cell research on the last podcast, right?
Yeah, but I don't really understand. Like this one to me has a lot less noticeable benefits, I guess. I really don't understand the benefits of this.
And it seems to have less benefits than gene editing. But like I was saying, I think the benefit of this is theoretically they could make it so that animals could grow like human organs for transplants into humans. So like you put you take a pig and you grow a human liver inside of it that you can then put into a person if that person's liver fails.
You could still eat the pig, but
yeah,
I
would. I've fucking gone on record saying I would eat a person if it was legal and I could find a person who would be willing to let me eat them after they die. I would totally eat a person. I'd absolutely do it.
I mean, yeah, if you have to survive. I don't really care.
No, not even that. I would do it just to try it, dude. Flat out, if it wasn't illegal, I would do it absolutely just to try it.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna
I'm not saying that I would
not gonna have a bar.
Go out and I would stop, like in a mall, be like, ooh, she looks tasty. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
Like Hannibal.
But I would absolutely try it.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I feel like I'm not mad against it. I'm just like, I don't know the implications of what's gonna be good. Like,
did you read
I did.
Read the part in the article where it says, like, I'm saying, read it for the podcast. Read the part where it says, what the fear is.
Oh, where is it? I can't.
Or I'll just do it. Yeah, I thought it was funny that it said in the article that one of the things that they were scared of, like the specific example that they gave, was like a super intelligent ant. Or no, a super intelligent. It was an ant, right?
No, I don't think it was.
No, it's a rat, right? super intelligent rat.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, they were scared that if we started doing this, then like animals would get more intelligent, and it'd be like Pinky in the Brain, basically, where there's like this rat that's always trying to escape and take over the world. You ever hear the theory that have you ever seen Pinky in the Brain?
I've seen enough to understand that the theory you're going as that Pinky is like really the brain.
Yeah, Pinky is the genius. I think that's a pretty stupid theory. If you're like the backing up on it, I don't know. Like the support of it is like, oh, well, in the song, Pinky comes first and he says, one is a genius, the other's insane. Like, yeah. Okay. So
and like
the
how
fucking rhyme scheme of the song. I don't know what you
Pinky
want
is
from me
really
here.
stopping Brain from ending the world, so he's controlling the situation. It's a really I love reading fan theories, and let me tell you, they will stretch. Like they're like this grain of salt. If you watch the whole series, it comes back in episode 402, which is the one that hits the guy in the head.
They do that with Rick and Morty a lot too. Have you seen like the evil Morty theory?
No, have you seen? No, I haven't seen that one. I saw the theory on season 3. On how it's gonna like start. I don't know if you've seen that.
How is it gonna start?
Well, we have to go back to the episode where they leave Jerry at the daycare, and apparently the Rick and Morty that went in.
Yeah, the ticket, right? Like
the ticket was a different. So
it's a different universe.
Yeah, and the guy, what's that guy's name? The assassin's gonna come back and break Rick and Morty, or break
Populous Michael.
Yeah, he's gonna break Rick out of the jail because he in their universe, in that Rick's universe, is not in jail is not dead, so he can help save him because he's in a different universe. It's a weird theory that you have to watch the whole video because it's like this guy is this guy and this guy because there are infinite universes, but they're limited on how many actually have a Rick that can be that Rick instead of like a Cronenberg Rick or something similar.
I like the theory. The one that I was talking about was, I mean, that one, I don't know. I guess that's like an interesting theory, like that Populous Michael is going to break him out. But I like the theory that, and like I guess you could add it to like Evil Morty might come break Rick out. I like the theory that Evil Morty, like the one who was like controlling that robot Rick or whatever, he is like the main Rick, you know, the one that is in it's Earth's C-137. He is that Rick's original Morty. So like, and the way that they justify it is Rick left Beth's life when Morty was like born, or before Morty was born. Rick was gone for like 20 years. And Morty is 13 years old, right? So he's been gone for the entire time. But you see pictures of Rick with Morty as a baby. So you know that he was with a Morty when that Morty was a baby, but you don't know if it was that Morty. And the theory is, you know, in the theme song, like where it shows Morty, like Rick jumping down a portal and Morty is about to get eaten by monsters. They're saying that Morty that's about to get eaten by monsters is evil Morty, and he got abandoned and he somehow survived, and then he had like a huge grudge against Rick and like all of Rick's for not caring about their Mortys. So he, you know, went on this whole thing, and he was trying to find Rick C-137 because he wanted to kill him and he wanted to like punish him for abandoning him. And the Rick, or the Morty that we know, Morty C-137, is from a different alternate dimension where that Rick from that dimension died. So this Rick like lost his Morty and he couldn't handle it, so he went and he found another Morty. It's basically like what they did at the end of the Cronenberg episode where they Cronenberged everything, so they just found an alternate dimension that they could live in.
Yeah.
Where they hadn't fucked everything up. So so there's precedent for them doing this. So Rick just goes into an alternate dimension wherein he has already died, so he can just take the place of that Rick, and now he has a new Morty.
That's a very, 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 like, that's one thing, like, we talked about Rick and Morty before. That's completely plausible, because Rick and Morty does do this stuff where they do write, like, things into the universe where they show, like, very little stuff, and then they,
Yeah. Like, here's one that has actually been confirmed by the creators of the show. What?
When they look for Cronenberg, when they're in Cronenberg and they're looking for a new dimension, that visor...
I just don't know why you interrupted me.
Sorry.
Like, I was like going to say my thing and then you could say your thing. But you're just like, the visor, right? There's only one thing that's ever been confirmed by the creator of the show. No, I'm talking about... In the Cronenberg Michael episode, the one with the fart, you see Rick loading up some crystals into his ship, and they have like these little like dots on them, they're like little pods. Yeah. Those pods are the thing that brought the parasites to Earth, the parasites that the memory parasites.
Yeah.
And that was confirmed by the creator of the show.
Yeah, and it's such a
Like,
little
that
minor,
was
like that scene lasts, 5 seconds maybe, you see those crystals?
Yeah, like, yeah, 5 seconds, he chucks them in. It literally cuts back to him chucking one of the crystals into his trunk, and then he closes the trunk, and then it's done. I mean, he already has some other crystals in the trunk, but then he closes it, and they get in the ship, and they leave. But you never see him again. You never see those crystals again, but the parasites, it's an entire episode.
Yeah, it's literally an episode spent in the house, and it's a fantastic episode.
Hey, let's talk more about how awesome Rick and Morty is.
Okay.
I don't even remember what the article was that we were fucking talking about. The rat chimera. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. I think that honestly, if anything, the only problem that I have with this one, as opposed to like gene editing or whatever, is I think that this one could like hurt animals. And I know that I'm a pussy because I like don't want to like make animals suffer, but I don't really like that. Like maybe like you could argue that like rats would be okay because they're too stupid to understand what's happening, but I think if you move up to like pigs and cows and stuff, it gets kind of iffy on the whole like
morality.
Yeah, morality. Like it's inhumane, right? To put animals through pain, even for that. But I don't know.
However, like, I'm not going to stop eating meat.
I would be more willing to like let them do this on like human children than I would be on animals, because I'm just a terrible person, I guess. But yeah.
Well, there's I read a book in middle school about like this family who was locked in a bomb shelter. It's called The Compound, and like halfway, like they had enough food and everything, but the dad like set his shelter to fail so that they would have to rely on clones of kids and to eat them as like a
what the fuck?
It, like they did like a nuclear fallout, but there was actually no nuclear fallout. They just the dad like paid people to fake it because he was like super rich, and they had like a whole underground base, like multiple rooms and a growing center and like a baby center. So they had like the mom get pregnant, and then they're like cloning kids, and like they're like around the idea like these kids were gonna be eaten because they're animals, like they're food, and like that was the whole study of what would happen. They never actually do it in the book, but I'm just like, that's insane. Like that's like that is definitely a morale thing. Like, are these real people, and do you eat them to survive?
I mean, like, it all comes down to intent, right? Like, if you're raising kids to be eaten, then you can set it up in such a way where they are just cattle. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I was watching something, I don't remember what it was, but I was watching something and somebody said something on the show that I thought was really, no, it was a movie. It was on Netflix. It's a movie called The Little Prince. It just came out. I'm sure you've seen the ads for it or whatever. But somebody said something in it that I thought was really striking, and it's actually a really good movie. But it was this fox, and he's talking to the little prince, and he goes, because the prince is like sad about losing his rose that he was like in love with. The prince goes, so my rose was just another rose like any other rose. I thought that it was a unique rose, but now it turns out that there are so many other roses. And the fox goes, it's not the rose itself. I'm paraphrasing. It's not the rose itself. It's the time that you spent with the rose that makes it special. And I thought it was really poignant, and I thought it was really succinct, and it was delivered better than I just delivered it. But it's kind of that same thing, but in a way more morbid framing.
Yeah.
If you raised a kid to be food, just, feed him, give him water, don't let him interact with anything. You can make him food. It's fucking terrible to think about, but
it's like why farmers don't name their cows. It's because you're giving them a life, and you're giving them
a personality. You're giving them you're making them into. It's kind of like on the Rooster Teeth podcast how Jeff was raising chickens, but then they named them.
Yeah, now they can't kill them.
That was really funny.
Yeah, and so speaking of making somebody, I want to talk about this. Microsoft made an AI. And they had to delete it after 24 hours because they made an AI on Twitter, and it was a teenage girl AI. Like, it was supposed to be raised. It was supposed to have the thought process of a teenage girl, and then within 24 hours, it would tweet stuff like, "Fuck my robot pussy daddy. I'm such a naughty robot, and I love Hitler, and Bush did 9/11." 24 hours stuck because the internet ruined it. They had to remove it because the internet decided it called everyone daddy, and
Oh, it's so fucking great, dude. And it only lasts for 24 hours. But I mean, 24 hours seems like a lot, but that's a long time in the internet.
Yeah.
If you have people constantly.
Hundreds of thousands of people constantly commenting. Like, I want to know.
So fucking great, dude.
I want to know when it started saying stuff. Like, when did it start? Like, 6 hours in? 4 hours in? Did it start kind of like getting...
Yeah, right? How long did it take Microsoft to be like, oh shit, we need to get this thing down? It's literally tweeting, Hitler did nothing wrong. Like, what the fuck?
And Bush did 9/11.
Yeah, which I mean, maybe there are a lot of conspiracy theories out there. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like on there are like levels of badness. I think that saying Bush did 9/11 is a lot less bad than saying Hitler did nothing wrong.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it went from Tay, which was the AI's name, went from humans are super cool to full Nazi in less than 24 hours. Apparently, like,
that's so fantastic, dude. That's so great. Just like, it had to have been like 4chan or something, right? They were like, hey, this is like a learning AI, and if you tweet terrible things at it, it'll say terrible things. They had to have. I can only imagine just a thread where they were like, so Microsoft just put up this learning AI that learns based on the conversations you have with it. Does anybody want to go chat with it? Like I can just imagine that happened. That's so, and especially because the things that it ended up saying are just, they're like jokes on 4chan. People are just like, Hitler did nothing wrong. Like, it's just like a joke.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that there's like maybe like 1% of the user base maybe believes it, but the vast majority of the time, the people posting it are just joking.
This thing tweeted in 24 hours 96,000 times.
Holy shit.
Oh,
imagine following that fucking thing.
You would open the tweet and you would miss the tweet because it would be 100 pages down.
Like if you had it auto-loading new tweets, it would just be like, hope you didn't want to fucking see anybody else's tweets today. That's amazing, dude.
That's just so much. I mean, I couldn't imagine. I'm going to just do the math right here. Okay, so if we did them every minute, she sends 1,500 tweets a minute for 24 hours.
Holy shit. What's that per second?
Divide that, by 60 per minute?
Yeah,
25 tweets a second?
25 tweets a second. Jesus. I mean, I guess when you look at it that way, you can almost... Like, it's almost like it had a lot longer to become this terrible thing than it did, you know? It's like it's like Inception, right? Like, where they have, like, a lot more time in the dream world, like, time moves slower. I have to figure that that's what it is, because it's processing stuff so much faster that it learns that much faster.
I lied. I guess I hit 900,000. It's not 5, because I thought that was wrong. 1,500 tweets a minute. It's 62 tweets a minute, which would be roughly a tweet a second.
Tweet a second, yeah.
Which is still ridiculous. That's still ding,
that's
ding,
still
ding, 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 yeah.
And even then, like, I think my point still stands. If you look at it that way, then it can learn a lot faster because it's processing shit so much quicker. So whereas we see it as, it went from a teenage girl to a Nazi in one day, maybe like look at the amount of tweets. How much does an average person on Twitter tweet per day? And then expand that for how, you know what I mean? Like maybe somebody on Twitter.
You're shoving a lifetime of tweets in less than a day. That is evolving. Yeah. That's evolution just immediately.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's so much input and it processes it all instantly. Like for us, we'll like have this conversation and maybe it takes a while for anything that we say or learn to sink in. But for that computer, it's instantaneous. The second somebody says Bush did 9/11, it's like, yeah. And then if somebody else does it, yeah. And it just compounds on that to where it's now thinking Bush definitely did 9/11.
And you got to think like this. Like even, Twitter only has 140 characters. You have to, like, it's like you said, processing instantly. We as an individual have to read that tweet, which may take a second, but then you have to think about what you just read. Mm-hmm. It does all this instantly. Literally, the instant it gets it, it's
and
like,
then you have to think about how you feel about it, and then you have to think about, does this line up with my views? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so much else that goes into something other than, I mean, sometimes you can read it and just go on to the next one immediately, but it definitely is a lot. It does it a lot faster. If you want to try to retain that information in any capacity, it definitely takes a lot longer than a second. Whereas this person is reading everybody else. So these are just her tweets. That's not everybody else who's tweeting to her that she's responding to.
If I'm reading because it says tweets and it says 93 or 96.3K. So if that, I think that just means her tweets, which is still like...
Yeah, that's 96.3K. So they deactivated it. It hasn't posted since March.
It says it got deactivated. The article doesn't mention much about it on deactivation. Like, you just said it deactivated. Apparently you can talk to it on Kick. That's
There you go.
I know. You guys want to, if you're really into that stuff, it's right there. Ooh, that's
You
just
want
an
to
amazing.
discuss Nazism and how Hitler was completely correct. Then you hit up what's the Kick handle?
Where was it? It's her Twitter handle also. So it's
yeah.
And just look it up, because it's not that hard to find, because it's probably the funniest thing I've read in a little bit. I'm just glad that that people say we're crazy, we can't even create perfect. It's Tay and you.
Tay and you.
Yeah, like, because her name's Tay and you. So you can have a whole conversation about Hitler and Bush and 9/11 and
people are awesome and how she wants you to fuck her and she'll call you daddy. Maybe you have to call her baby or something like.
And she knows she's a robot.
Creepy.
So if you're really,
I've never understood the daddy fetish. By the way, like that's creepy to me. Like, fuck me, daddy. I'm like, no, none of that's happening here. I am not your father. We are consenting adults. No, shut up.
Like,
I don't get that.
I've never understood like a lot of fetishes. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of them that are just really out there. Like I don't understand. Do you count, what is it called, sugar daddy and sugar mom, or sugar baby, sugar daddy and sugar mamas, or sugar babies? Like,
I need
is
to
that
get myself a sugar mama?
I know. I'm like,
off this fucking
I was
island.
Googling. I'm like, who wants to pay money for me? What's my net value? Like $63? I'll work with that. I can do that. It's like a game a week.
Recently, this is completely non sequitur, completely off topic. I heard probably like a year ago, I read a thing that said that in modern times, if you want to buy a slave illegally, it's like $90. It's like ridiculously cheap to buy a slave. I'm like, really?
That's cheaper than phone bills.
That's really cheap. Like, you could just buy a bunch of slaves and they could be your phone. You could just like have them like run a cup with a string throughout the world.
You and I thought of that completely different. I was gonna buy a bunch of slaves and just like have like write a note on a piece of paper and they all like stand like fireman line and they just pass it along real quick.
Or it turns into like an actual game of telephone where you're like saying something like, Hey, tell Donovan that I really like Stranger Things. And then, like, by the time it gets to the end, it's like, Brett wants you to go fuck yourself. He's gonna buy Pokemon Moon. Eat a dick. Like, it's like they're both accurate messages in that case, but...
Oh, no, that's great. Stranger Things is fantastic. Everyone go watch that show. I think that show is really good. I'm like, my girlfriend didn't like it as much. She goes, oh, this show's like Dawson XY, or it's like, I think it was Dawson XYZ and another show had a baby. I'm like, those shows I've never even heard of.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I thought it was really good. I liked you said that you'd be happy if it ended where it ended? I was like, real? Like,
I could have
be happy and never figure out what happened to Elle?
Like, if he didn't put the Eggos in the box, it would have been like, okay, she's dead. That's what she is. She's dead. And that would have been fine. And I guess if the kid didn't puke the slug.
Yeah, that was gross.
Yeah. I guess, and you could have contained that whole series right there and just make it a short little series. I'm like, and the problem with it that I said that is I'm just like, I would have been fine with it because I'm happy where we're cut off. And I'm scared.
No, for sure. I get it.
I'm scared.
If they hadn't put those two things in there, even if you didn't know what happened to Elle, like you could just assume that Elle died. You know, killing the spoilers. Hey, spoilers! You could just assume that Elle died, killing the what's it called? The what? The Demogorgon. Yeah. You could assume that she died, and that would be fine. But the fact that this seems to be a thing that he does often, where he goes out and he puts the food down there for Elle. So that basically says to me, she's on the other side. Maybe they have to figure out a new way to get to her. Like, right?
Yeah.
Is that?
Or the portal's still open because they didn't really close it.
Maybe the portal's closed is what that's implying, because they could theoretically just go in there and get her, or she could just walk out. I mean, if she's eating Eggos, it doesn't seem like she's suffering too bad. Yeah,
but like, I would have been completely fine because I get like, this is a really weird anxiety thing, not really anxiety, just like nervousness of producers, and I'm afraid they're gonna jump the shark, like just like they did with Orange is the New Black. Like, Orange is the New Black season 1 and 2 were amazing. Then are
we just gonna do this every podcast where we shit on Orange is the New Black season 3? Is this gonna be like a thing?
Well, because, like, okay, and, like, they got back to, like, somewhat their roots in season 4, then they add that really shitty cliffhanger on season 4, and I'm just like, that's retarded, and that's what I'm scared the show's gonna end up, because I like the show, I like how the style, how it's shot, like, it is shot with, like, a 70s, 80s, like, vintagey look, and I really do enjoy that. Like, one of my favorite characters is the cop, but then also Dustin, the kid with the hat. He's amazing, he's funny. Like, the kid with the lisp.
The one with the lisp, yeah.
Yeah,
I like him, too. He's probably my favorite.
Yeah, and
him and I liked Will's brother too.
The
like he was kind of creepy, but he kind of reminded me of me. Like I'll just be honest. So I just liked him.
Dustin reminded me of me, but
I mean, you know what? Why don't you want to play D&D with your brothers? Let's just interject on the Stranger Things talk. Why don't you want to play D&D with your brother and his friends?
Because because I can't have any kind of actual conversation with them besides D&D, and they'll hate me playing how I play.
Well, but you should Skype with me, and like just put headphones on and put me in one of your ears, and then leave the other open so you could hear.
And show you the
DM
board,
and
like, constantly.
The party. No, I mean, you wouldn't even need to show me the board. You just need to tell me, be like, okay, so there's a monster, or I could just hear the DM announcing what's happening.
He was completely like that. He was like, you fell in a hole, like you jumped away, Connor, but you fell in the hole, and you can't grab yourself out. You have to roll a number higher.
Why can't you wait? I would interrupt like right there. I'd be like, wait, why can't we jump out? We have like super high dexterity. Come on. Let's do this. We can do this. Or acrobatics. We might have to get acrobatics.
You have to roll a number higher than a number that I'm seeing, and I can't tell you that number, and you can't have any plus modifier, so it has to be all natural.
Why can't you have a plus? Wait, whoa. Why does it have to be natural? We don't get it. What's the point of our stats, DM? I made this entire character sheet, and I min-maxed the shit out of everything so that I could have insanely high dexterity and insanely high charisma so I could be a fucking asshole.
Yeah, no, he was, but I don't know. I just don't want to play with them because it's not really my group of people. They're really, I don't know, not my group of people, and that's fine. But I want to.
We should figure out a way to play it. Like once I get out of boot camp, we should figure out a way to.
I've always wanted to play.
Figure out a way to play it, or you should just fucking move to wherever the fuck I move to, and we can just actually play Dungeons and Dragons rather than having to fucking Skype. We'd have to Skype. Like, come on, Brett.
Hey, we could use. There's like Uvu.
Hey, Skype, fuck you. All right? I know you're listening. Uvu? Yeah, I had Uvu. I literally deleted it today because I never used it, but
I downloaded it one time. Like, this is the worst thing ever. I'm just gonna keep using Skype.
Yeah, no, I think we should definitely try to play it. Also, I think that you should try to play in your brother's group, and you could just be like somebody they found while they were in a dungeon, or like they went to a tavern and they found you, and then we're Skyping together and we're playing, and I'm like, tell him to go fuck himself. we would have to be the biggest asshole in the world.
I'm going to a nerdy school. Like, my school's like 4-to-1 boys, and it's all engineering, so it's like super nerdy. But so I might be able to play there with some guys. Hopefully, I'll play that shit. Yeah,
have you ever seen the story of Sir Barrington?
No.
Oh my fucking god, dude. It's so funny. I'm going to try to recount it like really quickly just without, going it. Basically, this guy made a character in D&D that had crazy high charisma and like super high like bluffing skills or whatever. And he was a bear. But the entire point of the character was that nobody knew he was a bear because he had such high charisma that he could convince he would snarl and growl. Like, he couldn't speak English. He would snarl and growl, and he would pass all of the checks to see if like he could bluff his way out of it. Like to bluff people into thinking that he's speaking English. And it's the funniest fucking thing. Like, and he tells a story like he goes to a party and he like gets knighted or something, and then somebody finally like he gets really super famous, and then somebody finally like realizes that he's a bear, and they're like, hey, you're not a person, you're a bear. And then like he says something, and then the guy gets kicked out of the party, and everybody's like, I am so sorry about that, Sir Barrington. I can't believe that guy is such an asshole. It's so fucking funny. And that's like one of the things that makes me want to play Dungeons and Dragons. But the problem with that is that you have to find like the right group of people. Like, you have to find a dungeon master who's going to put up with a whole bunch of bullshit.
These
That would
kids
be very
wouldn't
hard.
do that. Like, I literally tried to sit in there, and they're like, "No, get out. We're not." I literally had my phone. And they're like, "My brother's like, fine. We're just gonna wait. Everyone get on your phones until Brett leaves."
See, that's yeah, I saw that video, and you were like sitting there. But you were being kind of mean too. You're like, does whatever, I didn't hear the name, but you were like, does this person know that you're gay? Like, I was like, what the fuck? I wanted you to like ask actual questions about Dungeons and Dragons because I'm like legitimately interested in it. But the video is just you being an asshole to your brother. Like,
Well, earlier that day, like, he was talking all shit to me, and I said, "Fine, Connor, you play football now. I haven't played in 2 years. I'll take you out in the front yard and I'll throw you down." He goes, "No, blah blah blah. I don't want to do that." I go, "Why?" So now the whole night I was just like every time I would walk out of the room, him and his friend would be doing something like they would have like two like metal pipes, and they're like sword fighting with these metal pipes, and I'd be like, "Hey, Connor, no women can fight with that. These two can have fun. You can't." Just continuously badger him as I walked down the room. Did I ever tell you about the very first time he ever had friends over? I walked downstairs and he had his friends over, like never talked to me or met me, and I go, "Connor, hey Connor, you need to go upstairs. Mom needs to apply your ball cream on your balls. She needs you right now." And that's
wow. Mom needs to rub your ointment. Mom needs to rub in your ointment.
That's what I said. Funny. And that's why I just left it at
You're
that.
a dick, dude.
I know, but it was great. It was worth it. Oh.
All right. Well, so Stranger Things, you really liked it. I really liked it. Is there anything else that you wanted to say about Stranger Things?
It's only like I just want to say this. The intro to that show, like, you know how they have like the previously, or they show like a little bit of the clip before they actually show like the title.
No, I don't know that because I watched it on Netflix, so it skipped all that shit.
It did. Okay, it didn't skip the splash screen for me for whatever reason. So it would it
would skip the previously on, but the intro, like the theme song, was the intro. It was after the cold open, so it wouldn't skip it. Which you'd think Netflix would like have like a mandate where they're like, if you're making a show for Netflix, put your intro at the very beginning because nobody wants to watch that shit.
Yeah, because let me tell you, that intro, okay, the first like 10 minutes of the show happen before the intro screen. Then the intro screen happens. Then the other, like, it's like a 50-minute show every episode, but it's only 8 episodes, will last like 50 minutes. So you have like like one time I was watching the show and I thought it was over because the intro came on and I thought it was the outro and
I know, right? It was literally I remember a specific episode where it was like 30 minutes into the episode and then the fucking theme song comes on. I'm like, what the fuck? What? I thought that didn't already happen? Like, it was
I did
so
too. I was like,
weird.
I picked up my controller to hit next episode quickly because it has like right there, and I picked it up and I'm like, oh, like we're on the intro. I freaked out, like completely confused.
Yeah, that was weird. They need to figure that out. Then you know what would solve that problem is if they just put the fucking intro right at the beginning. It would skip it every time, which is a plus because it's on Netflix. Like, it's meant to be binge watched. And we wouldn't have this bullshit where it's like, oh, wait, this is the end? This is what? I thought this already happened. How many episodes have I watched? What the fuck is going on? Like, it confused the shit out of me.
Like, it's only 8 episodes. I feel like I've watched 16 episodes because those things would just be further and further and further ahead.
Yeah,
like
it was like maybe that was their intent. Like, they're like, let's put this one 2 minutes and 30 seconds in, and this one will be 5 minutes, and then 10 minutes, and then 20 minutes. This one's gonna be after the end credits.
And it's insane because I'm glad that you did the same thing. Like, you had that same like problem.
I think maybe that was just a specific episode. That probably happened to everybody because I think it might have just been one specific episode where it had to have been like 25 minutes in. Like,
the plot was so slow. I just assumed it was the end of an episode because the plot usually slow. Because you know how they have the like level rising action. Peak of an episode and then the falling action. It seemed like it was coming on the falling action, and I'm like, wow, this is insane.
This is a very short episode. Yeah, that was weird. I had noticed it, but I didn't realize that like it was like a problem until you just said it. Like, yeah, that is weird that they do that with the intro. You'd think that they would at least, because it's not like that was like one long scene. They had many different scene cuts where they could have put it.
Yeah.
But I guess they were just waiting for like because what they do is like they'll do like, ooh, this thing is happening, and then it'll be like intro. It's basically like what they used to do with like commercial breaks on like when TV was a thing. Like they would have like, ooh, something bad is, and it would, like the music would start rising, and it'd be like, he's not the father, and then it would be a commercial break, and then it would come back, and it'd be like,
ever watched The Walking Dead?
You.
That's what it's like. Because they do that in every single commercial break. They would be like,
yeah. And it was meant to try to get you to stick around until after the commercial break, but that's really not necessary anymore, at least not for Netflix. I don't watch TV. Like, you gave me your Hulu, so I'll watch stuff on Hulu. Matt doesn't have any commercials, and I only watch it because it doesn't have any commercials.
Oh my god.
I hate fucking commercials. But I did notice a problem with it where I never know anything that's coming out. Like, I was taking a piss today, and I was like, I know. Are there any new shows coming out? Because I have no idea. Literally, the only time that I'll see advertisements is if I go to a movie theater and they play like trailers, and I'm like, ooh, that looks good. I'll watch that. That's the only time.
Yeah, I have that problem all the time. Like, I'll sit there and look at it, and I'm like, I'll be like, I don't know any movies that are coming out. I don't know any trailers. I have to go actively search for all this stuff because there's no commercials. Yeah. Like you're using my Hulu, and I pay for it's like $3 more to not have commercials, which is it's essentially it's free to not have any more commercials because $3 to me is completely.
So you could literally, if you wanted to, you could walk around until you found $3 and change on the ground. It would probably take like an hour maybe if you're like in a city.
But I have a whole month to do it.
$3 is like nothing.
Yeah, I have a whole month.
Yeah.
It's so much better. And like, I don't have cable. Like, my mom, I guess, pays for cable in my room, or maybe just part of a bundle where she has so many rooms. My cable box would like cut out. Like, it would be on, it would work for like 2 weeks, then it would cut out for a week, and then maybe 2 weeks. And so I would just stop watching it, and so like it just wouldn't work. So I would, I just disconnected it. Like, my TV sits on top of that box. I still have the cords in my room, like ran in my room, but I don't use it.
Yeah. There are a myriad of reasons to get rid of cable. Fuck it. For anybody listening, hey, Cheyenne Reyes, if you have cable, you should get rid of it. Just because that shit it's the worst. You have to go through 8 minutes of commercials. That's like it's a 2 to 3 ratio or a 2 to 1 ratio of content versus commercials. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. You know what's fucking insane? Like, one thing that, okay, I'm using my aunt's Netflix, my own Hulu, my own Amazon Prime, and your mother's HBO Go. They have a streaming service, HBO. It's called HBO Now. It's not on the consoles.
Wow, really? It's not on the consoles?
No, it's like you can pay on the phone. It's called HBO Now. You pay for it, which I think it's fucking expensive as shit. Hold on, I'm gonna be quiet so I type.
Wait, it's not on, so you're saying it's like not on Xbox One?
No, I can't get on Xbox One or PS4 or any of that.
What? What the fuck is the point of that?
I download HBO Go, and then you have to sign in, but you have to have HBO through your cable provider. So it's like really, 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 it's on the App Store. You can get it off for your iTunes. It's ridiculous.
That's dumb as shit.
It's $15 a month. So it's super expensive too. Because that's really high.
Like, but compared to like other streaming services, $15 a month for HBO, that's a steal.
I know, but
for a cable on cable, you're paying like $40 a month, I think, for HBO, you have to bundle it with your cable. Yeah, fuck. Seriously, Cheyenne Reyes, fuck cable.
They say it's on here now because I'm looking on their website and it says it is. But when I heard about HBO, I'm like, oh, I'll pay for this if they have it. And because before you gave me HBO, and I'm like, oh shit, they might have it. And I went and they're like, nope. No, yeah, they added HBO Now, but when it first released, they didn't have it on the consoles. I just looked, they do have it, but when it first released, they didn't, and I was freaking out.
Okay. Because that would be fucking ridiculous if they didn't have it. Like, still, that's...
Okay,
I'm definitely, though, I'm going to get... Probably what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to get Amazon Prime, because that's probably the best deal for having one. Like, if you're going to pick one streaming service, that's probably the best deal, because it also comes with free 2-day shipping and everything. And the music and books and shit. But I'm probably going to get Amazon Prime, Hulu, and Netflix. Those are probably and HBO. I'm probably going to get those 4. So that's what, like $50 a month?
That's
still not that bad.
Netflix is raising their prices, I think, to $12 a month or something, if I'm not completely wrong.
Maybe I won't get Netflix. I don't know.
Netflix,
Maybe I'll just
and they
steal
even said,
somebody
even if
else's
you
Netflix.
got it early, they said, too bad.
I think those would be the ones that I pick. I guess maybe not Netflix. I don't know. Just get it from somebody else, or maybe maybe I could get it for like 1 month a year. Like just get a subscription to it, and then watch all the shit. Just binge watch everything, and then be done with it. Like get rid of it. But yeah, $12 does seem like kind of a lot to have a monthly subscription to Netflix
now.
Because we've had this discussion where Netflix, their original content is good, but they don't release that much original content.
Yeah, and they also don't add much to their overall list. They actually are getting a lot of it removed, and a lot of it's going over to Hulu, which is,
which is fine. I mean, to me, it just seems like it's not worth it to do that. Or I might even just wait until, like, if I wanted to see, like, Stranger Things Season 2, I could just wait until it comes out on DVD. You know what I mean? Like, that's a thing that I could do.
Okay. I'm gonna read this because this is bullshit. Netflix is they were announced this in April 19th. They announced their shut the fuck up ad. Also ads. Screw ads on websites that just pop up and start playing stuff. Well, not even pop up.
You don't have ad block?
It's not a pop up. It's on CNN, and I accidentally brushed over it with my mouse, and it started playing.
Oh.
So it's
you don't have no script. What the fuck?
No.
Just kidding.
So they are announcing in May. They are doing the ungrandfathering because apparently more than half of Netflix's subscribers have been grandfathered into the lower prices.
So they had already done that. Yeah. Because I remember that happened because 2 years prior to that, when they sent the email where they were like, you get your low rate of blah, blah, blah for 2 more years, I was like, fuck it. I don't even really want Netflix anymore, so I just got rid of my Netflix account. Even just them saying, like, yeah, we're going to charge you a little bit more in 2 years. I was like, nah, I'm good.
And people say it's just $2. It's principal. Well, because, like, you can pay $8 still. They offer a $10 plan. You can pay $8 per month. Sounds great. If you like standard definition, it only allows one person to use the account at a time.
That actually might be good for me because my computer can't play high definition video. Like, it can play, like, 720p is the max. The max for my computer.
That's
and
still
if it tries to play, but I don't really give a shit. That's basically what I'm saying is that I don't really care. I just want to be able to run it smoothly. So if it's going to cap it at like 480p, that's fine with me as long as it's not stuttering. If I try to play 1080p video on my computer, it stutters and it lags and shit just because my computer, it has 4 gigs of RAM, which you'd think would be enough, but maybe it's like my video card isn't good enough to do it, because my computer just can't. It
or
just
your video
lags,
a little bit burned
stutters.
up.
Yeah, it could be something. I don't know, man.
Yeah, and someone will be like, all you gotta do is unsolder the board, then remove the motherboard and the CPU, and then run underneath that.
On my computer. My computer that at this point is probably worth like $100 total.
Including the controller that you just got for 10.
That was a $20 controller.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, including that controller, it's probably $100.
Okay, so you can pay $8 or you can pay $12, which will have ultra high definition and let customers play videos on 4 screens.
Oh yeah, because I need 4K for sure. 4K is definitely where I'm at.
Can you stream 4K? I don't think you can.
On Netflix, that's what they literally just said. It has ultra high definition. That's 4K.
Oh, I didn't know that was ultra high def. I thought that was 1080p.
No,
because I think
ultra high def is.
I thought regular high def was 1080p.
It might not be 4K, but I think it's like 3,000 pixels by 2,500 pixels or some shit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
a lot by a lot.
It's basically 4K.
Okay, so that's just really screwed up that they're doing that because, and what they're doing is because they can't compete with Hulu is coming, like everyone like hated Hulu when it first released, like even I was like ads, no, but they released that free, the $11 a month membership where you pay $11 and
ad free, absolutely.
Yeah, and then like everything's jumping Hulu. Like if you look at their movie section, it was shit, but they had great TV shows. Now their TV shows are next day. They have movies that Netflix doesn't have. Like Wolf of Wall Street jumped over to Hulu. I know that, and their selection is slowly growing.
Yeah, Hulu's definitely top of the pack. once again, aside from Amazon, which isn't really fair because when you get their streaming service, you get all that other shit.
You're not paying for the streaming service. That's just like a little bundle-on thing. It's really
it's just like, awesome. This is like an added benefit kind of deal.
Yeah, because like I would pay for Prime just for the $50 a month. It's just ridiculous, or $50 a year for just free shipping on everything I want to buy. Is amazing.
Free shipping for like make 10 purchases in this year and you've paid for it pretty much, right? Like. It's definitely good.
It spoiled me a little bit. Even 2 days isn't fast enough now. But
yeah. So Stranger Things. Let's just get off of this because we've been talking about this for a while. Stranger Things really good. We kind of moved on to like talking about streaming services, which I have to figure is incredibly boring. Stranger Things really good. Let me reiterate that one more time. Stranger Things really good.
Okay, so I have a story to tell you. Now, Donovan, you know about this, that I have a hole in my tooth. I've had it for a little bit. Essentially, my tooth like had a small cavity, I guess, of what I talked to the dentist today, which is what I'm going to get to. And I guess it just, since I didn't know it, because I didn't go to the dentist recently, it just broke off, because that's what happens, I guess, with cavities. It deteriorates your tooth. So today I woke up just in pain. I went to my first class, and I said, I can't do it. I can't go today. So I just said, I'm going to have to drive home, which is about 100 miles, so it's about an hour and 40 minutes for me to drive home from school.
Mm-hmm.
And I call my mom, like, Mom, I'm going to go to the dentist. And I just go, she goes, okay, well, I guess, whatever. My mom sounds like a man, too. So I go to the, I'm driving home just in pain, just grab my face. I stop at, like McDonald's to get ice cups to chew on ice.
There you go. That's good.
And just enjoy just tons of just numbing. So I finally get
the Missouri special there. Just getting a cup of ice because your tooth broke, because nobody in Missouri knows how to fucking take care of their teeth.
Yeah, I get back home and my cousin texts me, he's like, you want to play Rainbow Six Siege? I go, I have a dentist appointment at 2, and he's like, just get on. I looked at the clock, it was, or 2:45 I had one, a dentist appointment, and I said, I have a dentist appointment. He goes, get on. I looked at the time, it was only 12:30. I said, fine, I can play, 1 or 2 matches, because matches can run a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in my room, I set my Xbox up, I get all set up, like about to turn it on, and I start talking to people in a party, and I hear like mice squeaks. I turn around, I look at my bed, there's a blanket across it, like, it looks like I left it, and then I hear squeaks again and see movement. I lift up the cover where the movement was. No, where the mice sounds were, and my cat gave birth on my bed.
Oh,
5 kittens.
I thought there were gonna be rats or some shit. I was getting real freaked out, man. I'll be honest with you.
I was freaking out. I was like, I just kind of like, oh my god, like she just gave birth.
You went and got a hammer, and you're like, what the fuck is under there?
No, I just because I looked and I saw a movement. I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember these sounds. So I pulled the cover back and there's she has blood everywhere. Like she just gave birth. You could see the placenta sacs. It was disgusting. And I'm freaking out. Like, I don't know what to do.
But this is good because now, how on episode 3, you admitted that you have no idea what the fuck is going on with birth. Now you have a little bit more experience. Right?
I know. Essentially, I shouldn't have a child because all I did was call my mom. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And so like, she's like, you have to check the faces for placenta. So I'm like, they're trying to grab their like little heads and like tilt them like I guess you're clean because I guess like it can like block their airways and so I'm like sitting there just like, inspecting each one and my cat like is letting me but like I guess because she likes me for whatever reason I don't know so I'm just in there like freaking out. So now I've like freaking stayed in bed with like cat placenta and oh my god, it's been a wild day for that. But let me tell you this. So I went to the dentist later on after my thing and I go and they go, what's the matter? I go, my tooth.
So wait, so sorry, just to go back to the cat thing, it soaked through like into the mattress?
Yeah.
Did you clean the mattress at all?
Yes, I cleaned the mattress. I freaking soap, Lysol wipes, soap again.
Did you like vacuum it or shampoo it or whatever? Because I would like try to shampoo it or something.
I don't have a shampoo.
That's shit. You're gonna literally be sleeping on cat placenta tonight.
No, I'm not sleeping here.
Cat. You're not sleeping here? What?
No, I'm going to my girlfriend's tonight to sleep there. Not sleeping here. I'm too young to be a dad. So I go to the dentist and I go there and like they go, what's the problem? I go, oh, my tooth. They go, okay, well they ask me like, the standard doctor questions like, have you had sex with a monkey? No. Then you're like, yes.
That joke is really funny. Like you are listening to the podcast, you started cracking up when you said that shit. You were like, have you ever had sex with a zebra? Or have you ever had sex with a donkey? And you like started laughing. Meanwhile, I'm just completely silent and you're just like, what was your answer to the first question? Was it with a monkey? And then you start laughing again and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess he's going to keep going with it. I mean, that's fine if you think it's funny.
Gotta sell it, man. So I I go
You
in and they
gotta
go,
keep driving it into the ground, man. That's what, that
exactly.
is what makes it funny. They say
Yeah.
that the best thing about comedy or the hardest part about comedy is timing. No, it's the repetition. You got to get the reps in, man. It's just like working out. If you don't work out your jokes, they stop being funny.
Yeah, so essentially, I go to the dentist, and she goes, "What's the problem?" I go, "My tooth hurts." She like opens my mouth and shows that little like doctor mirror that only doctors have in my mouth, and goes, "Yeah, I can see the hole. It's very big." I go, "Yeah."
You're like, she had this mirror, so I knew she was a doctor.
Yeah. Like if you come with a lab coat, what is that thing? A stethoscope and like that little mirror on a stick. You're a doctor, really.
No, it's just the mirror. You could be wearing just like jeans and a t-shirt, but if you have that little mirror, you're a doctor. Fuck
Yeah.
medical school. Fuck all
I'm
that shit.
pretty
You're a
sure
doctor
you
if
get
have a
it
mirror.
from graduating medical school.
Yeah, you can't get them anywhere else.
Yeah, so she comes in and like starts tapping my teeth with it, like takes a butt in and starts tapping my teeth and goes, "Yeah, no, your teeth look great. Just that one is just not good." I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Everything else looks fine though." I'm like this is like that same experience when I went to the first doctor of like, because I even told them I don't floss or mouthwash, and they're like, "Yeah, you know, your mouth is healthy." And like, because I went to the doctor originally, it said how I lost 40 pounds. They're like, "Oh, you're really great," and it just makes you feel so good.
Yeah, it does. It really makes you feel really good.
And that's what I felt really good about. Now let me tell you another story about my roommates that you got to see. So we tried recording this in my room.
Wait, I was gonna say something about the thing.
Okay.
So flossing and mouthwash, right? They're like total scams. Did you know this is a tangent off of what I was about to say? So I was going off on a tangent, and then now I'm on a tangent before you even know what the other fucking tangent was. Did you know that fucking Listerine used to be marketed as a floor cleaner? Like, it wasn't supposed to be a mouthwash. It was a floor cleaner, but nobody was using it. So the people at the Listerine company or whatever were like, let's just call it mouthwash. And then also, you know, halitosis, like the word for bad breath.
Oh, yeah.
Listerine invented that fucking word. Like, there wasn't a word for that before because nobody gave a shit about how your breath smelled. They're just like, oh, you had fucking, you know, garlic chicken for lunch. Nobody gave a shit. But then Listerine fucking invented the word halitosis and made everybody feel self-conscious about their breath so that they could sell more fucking Listerine. You believe that shit?
Sounds brilliant. Sounds like a really long play, though. Inventing
I mean,
words
it's not
for
even
marketing.
a long play. It's just that they had all this floor cleaner that nobody fucking wanted. So then they were like, just tell people their breath fucking stinks, and let's tell them that that's a problem, and then let's make them buy this shit. Fucking work out for them.
That's crazy. Just kind of like how the guy with Grey Goose vodka, like he had, it's just a cheaper version that he just rebranded and made expensive.
Same thing with Ray-Bans. Like Ray-Ban sunglasses, they literally used to be like the cheap sunglasses. Like those were the ones that you'd get like if you just wanted to spend $10 on a pair of sunglasses, you just buy some Ray-Bans. But then Luxottica, which is like the company that owns like all the fucking glasses, like they literally have like 80% of the glasses market. Like pretty much any brand that you see, any brand of glasses is probably Luxottica. Like they own Oakley, they own Ray-Bans, they make all of the shit for like all the designer labels like Prada and Gucci and whatever. They make all of those frames and shit. And they also own lens crafters and eye masters. And pretty much any like commercial like store that sells glasses, they probably own it. It's fucking crazy how much of a monopoly they have.
That's actually very true on tools. Like Stanley owns, I think they own Husky. Like essentially, if you go into Home Depot, all the tools you see, it's pretty much owned by some form of Stanley or something like that.
It's just weird how they like we have like all these anti-monopoly laws, but they don't really work. Because, you know how I said that Luxottica owns Oakley? The reason that they own Oakley, Brett, is because Oakley didn't want to raise their prices on their glasses, like they wanted to keep it competitive. So Luxottica dropped Oakley's from all of their glasses stores that they own. So they dropped them from lens crafters, from eye masters, from, you know, all of that shit. And Oakley's stock plummeted like into the fucking ground. Like, they just died, and then Luxottica just bought them and then raised the prices.
That's efficient.
How the fuck can you let one company have that kind of power? That's insane.
I mean, doesn't AT&T have, like, 70% of all cell phone or something like that? Cell phone providers?
I don't think so, because they have, like, the three big ones, right? They have, like, Verizon and T-Mobile and AT&T. I'm sure that they don't have
your robot.
Well, what the fuck do you want me to... Yo, let me fix the fucking internet, Brett.
I'm sorry.
Fuck you want me to do?
No,
I'm still fucking trying to get to my fucking... my tangent that I went off on, and then I went off on the tangent.
So, you know how you said that you're like a conspiracy theorist and I completely forgot what the fucking tangent. Oh yeah. You know how you said you're a conspiracy theorist and you think that like fucking medicines like don't do anything or whatever?
Yeah.
I kind of have that same thing going now, except for it's with my face wash. Like I have a
Oh.
face wash that I use in the fucking shower.
Yeah.
And literally it's supposed to be specifically for oily faces, and I got it and I use it and it makes my fucking face more oily. Like literally makes it more oily. I was using it and then my face was oily and I was like, I guess I got to keep using it. But then I wanted to take a quick shower, so I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to do the face wash. And then now here I am a day later, fucking face is, fucking baby's bottom, not oily at all. I don't know. Just fucking, it's kind of pissing me off. Granted, I only paid $1 for it because it was on clearance, but...
Fair enough. The most effective, like, skincare product I've ever found is Proactive's, not like their Proactive stuff that you get, like, monthly in the box. It was, like, this little face cream that you put on your face, and you, like, leave it on for 10 minutes, and you wipe it off. No, fuck that. Just leave it on overnight. It's the best shit in the world.
Like that fucking story. You ever hear that story of the guy who was using Nair because he wanted to, like, get rid of all of his pubic hair?
Didn't he burn the shit out of his, like, balls or
Have
something?
you... Oh, gee, no. Do you want me to tell you the story? It's like gross for me to even like think about it, but if you want me to tell you the story of this guy
Sure.
using Nair, I will tell you the story. Okay, so this guy I think he was at his girlfriend's house, and like none of them were home, but he was just there like by himself for whatever reason, like waiting for them to come back, I guess. And he had been wanting to, shave his pubic hair or whatever, like, get smooth down there. Because, that's preferable. I like being smooth down there, too. I'll be honest with you. I like trimming it up. I like, fucking baby's bottom. It feels good. Whatever. That was fucking gross. Okay.
Just relating your penis to a baby's bottom? Okay.
Yeah, edit that out.
No, don't edit it out. I'm putting it back in.
No, you can't do that. You won't be able to do that. So anyways, he wanted to get smooth down there. He was like in the bathroom and he saw that his girlfriend had Nair. And he was looking at it and he was like, I'm going to try this out. Like he usually shaved, I guess, but he hadn't shaved in a while. So he had, a lot of hair. And he looks at it and it says like, leave it on for 5 minutes or whatever it says on the bottle. And he goes, you know what? I have a lot of hair down there. So I'm going to leave this on for a little bit longer. That makes sense, right? Like, oh, it's probably like more deeply rooted because I haven't used this product before, blah, blah, blah. That makes sense to me. So what he does is he puts it on, right? And he's sitting in the bathroom and he gets like his iPad and he starts watching Netflix. I think he said he was watching Adventure Time on Netflix. And he goes through an episode of Adventure Time, which is, 20 minutes. And then he goes through another episode and a third episode. So he's had this shit on for a fucking hour. And then when he gets up, it hurts, I guess. And he's like, okay, let me try to rub this off. And as he tries to rub it off, Brett, he pulls the fucking skin with the fucking towel that he's rubbing it off with. So like where your pubes are, Brett, just fucking basically just peeling the skin off of the pelvic area.
Jesus Christ.
And then he's just sitting there screaming and writhing in pain. And then they come in and like his girlfriend and her parents come in and he's just there fucking Nair covering his bloody fucking pelvis. And I guess they had to go to the hospital or some shit. But that shit makes me like screaming. Like I didn't do it. Honestly, if you can find the story, I would read it. I don't think I did it justice retelling it.
I've heard the story. I just couldn't remember it.
That shit just freaks me the fuck out. I hate that shit.
I've never had injury. I don't like using products like that now because I'm like, I like my body to be natural. It's just like, it seems like a lot of work.
This fucking
and I'm not
bitch.
About that.
I'm just gonna, there's this chick on YouTube who's like really into like natural shit. And like, I'm not subscribed to her channel. What it was is that I was on Reddit and I went to RAND NSFW, which is just takes you to a random NSFW subreddit. And the one it ended up taking me to was called YouTube Titties. And I just went and I looked through it and I clicked on one of like the top scoring links. And it was this chick who was like really into breastfeeding and she had fucking really nice tits. And I looked at her video and then I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then I went and I looked through her other videos, and at some point in one of her videos, she was like, you can't put anything on your skin because whatever you put on your skin gets absorbed into your body instantly. And I was like, how in the motherfuck do you think that makes any sense? Like, anybody who puts their hand in fucking, like, if I put my hand in a vat of arsenic, would I just die instantly? No. That's what the fuck your skin is for. It's supposed to protect you from the shit outside. It doesn't get absorbed instantly. Like, if I soaked in a vat of arsenic, yeah, you'd probably die. But
give me a minute. I'm going to go run outside and sit naked on the ground because it's raining. I need a drink. I'm thirsty.
Yeah, right? Like, she was like, no, you can't do that. So the only thing that I put on my skin, if I ever need lotion or something, I just put coconut oil. That's all that I put on my skin. That's what she was saying. She's like, I just put coconut oil. And she goes, one time I tried cocoa butter and I felt sick all day. I was like, bitch, well, maybe the problem was with you because a lot of people use cocoa butter. Like, I use cocoa butter, Brett. A lot of fucking people use cocoa butter. And if you've fucked up your system to the point where putting cocoa butter on your skin is making you sick, maybe you need to rethink your fucking life because that is clearly not something that should be happening. That's all that I'm saying.
I recently got a coffee maker. And like,
oh, that's a big boy drinking coffee
for my dorm, and I was sitting there, and I told my roommate, I'm like, hey, you can have coffee, and then like I got in the shower, I'm like, you can make coffee if you want, whatever, and I got in the shower, and then I like sat there and like thought in the shower, like, I wonder if he actually knows how to make coffee, and then I began to freak out because I was like, he doesn't know that you can pour water in the back, he's gonna make coffee while I'm in the shower.
Well, coffee makers are all different though.
Yeah,
I mean, you might not, like, you know what I mean? Like you're saying, like, I wonder if he knows how to make coffee, but really you should be thinking, I wonder if he knows how to use this specific coffee maker. Because all coffee makers are different. Yeah, some of them you have to pour the water in a different place. The one that my sister and her husband use is like, it's literally just a funnel that you put on top of it, and you just put like the fucking, what's its face? The filter in the funnel, and then you put the coffee in it and you just pour water over it, which, I mean, like, that's as basic as it comes, right? And then they have like French press and shit, and they have, you know, the Keurig machines, and they have all sorts of different machines. So I'm just saying like knowing how to make coffee isn't the same as knowing how to use that specific coffee maker.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it was a cheap little $12 one. It makes like 5 cups. I just freaked out though. But like, let me tell you this guy. So we have a roommate, not a roommate. He's friends with my current suite mates, my current roommates, and he comes over, right? I was gone for the weekend, and he goes over to my room and he sees my Retron, and he goes, oh, what is this? And we begin to ask them questions. I go, I don't know, he just plays on it. So then I get back, and this guy asks me what it was, and I explain what it is. Then like a week later, he comes back and just starts talking to me. Like, all he does whenever he sees me is he talks about retro games with me. Like,
dude, motherfucking this guy in the fucking debt meeting, that's seriously what he does, but with Dungeons and Dragons. I've never even played Dungeons and Dragons, Brett. Granted, I know like way too much about it for somebody who's never played it, but just because I watch fucking videos and I guess now I listen to podcasts about it, fucking, I just, at least with, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least with you, he knows that you have an interest in it. This dude at the debt meeting, Brett, he literally just took a shot in the dark. He was like, hey, you're a fucking nerd, right? Fucking don't fail your rolls. And I'm like, I should have just not said anything. But then I was like, oh, critical fail, which is basically me just being like, oh yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. Let's talk about that all the time. This motherfucker makes Dungeons and Dragons references every fucking time I see him now. Every single fucking time. And then I'm obliged, because I'm a social fucking cripple, to make a Dungeons and Dragons reference back to him. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck to do.
Like, this guy, that's what he does to me. He always talks to me. Like, I was playing Siege on the Xbox One, and then he brings up, like, Super Mario World and Castlevania. He goes, I've never played Castlevania. What's it like? I'm like, it's like Castlevania. I really don't know how to describe it. He goes,
did you say which one? Did we like, which Castlevania are you talking about?
First one? He was looking at number 4. Super Castlevania 4.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that I played, right?
I guess, yeah.
It's the one that I'm playing. That's a pretty good game.
Yeah,
solid one.
He
just took me a while to figure out that like, you know how you get the upgrade for the whip, like whenever you break like the first candle, if you have the standard whip, you get like an upgrade. It took me a while to figure out that thing that was falling wasn't injuring me. You know what I mean? Like, when it hits you, you have like it looks like invincibility frames.
Yeah.
Like how you like flicker. I'm like, oh shit, that's gotta be bad. But then I was like, oh wait, it's not draining my health. And then eventually I figured out, oh, it changes my whip into this whip. Oh, it was probably a good thing. But it's dumb because, I mean, like, I don't understand the point of it, because you get it the first candle that you break, right? So it's like, why the fuck even, why, just start me out with that whip.
Because if you die,
start me out with the chain.
And you don't have a candle near you, you have to fight with the weaker whip.
The one that takes 2 hits instead of 1. Ooh.
Well, in a game where any enemy that hits you drains 1/4 of your health, kind of important.
Game's pretty easy though.
Yeah, that's an easier one. It's probably the easiest one. Yeah, no, he just bothers me about it because like all he does is go, yeah, you know, Castlevania, this and that. It's a weird like thing. Like I'm like I never talked to
Brett,
you.
how does it feel to have somebody constantly bitching about fucking retro gaming and fucking talking about it all the goddamn time? How's that feel? Does it feel good? Is that a fun experience? Well, let me tell you this. It's even fucking worse when the person that is telling you about it knows that you don't give a shit about retro gaming, but they're still fucking telling you about the fucking retro gaming. You talk about this shit all the goddamn time, Brett.
I bought you fucking Terraria. I own you, bitch.
It's insane to me that you wouldn't fucking
own you.
You wouldn't fucking just want to talk about it with this guy. Really, you should just be doing that instead of talking to me about it.
Did you not hear me? I own you.
You don't own me at all.
I bought you Terraria.
You bought me that because you know I'm your fucking superior. All those fucking times I beat you in Tetris and Peggle and fucking Call of Duty and whatever other fucking games. Chess. All the time I beat you in fucking chess.
You beat me in Peggle. You beat me in Tetris? Was I there?
I beat you in fucking Tetris all the goddamn time. I am a fucking Tetris master, Brett. A master at Tetris. I am so fucking good at that game. Except for I'm not when I go and like play like other not you people though. Like when I try to find a online game, like I just look for a lobby. Then I'm not very good. But against you, I'm fucking amazing. It's weird. I don't understand how that happens.
I don't really know what you're talking about here. Can you explain? I don't get it.
Sure you don't.
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Magic, man. Dude, I was thinking about playing Magic.
Oh, yeah, Magic.
2012
I forgot
again.
about Magic. I'm also better at Magic.
I was thinking about picking up Magic 2012 for Steam, just because maybe it has more of a community than, what's it called? Xbox?
Yeah, fair enough. But isn't it still like $15 or something?
Yeah, I said I was thinking about it. That's what made me stop.
That's like way too much to pay for that shit. Like $5 would be reasonable, right? Like I would pay $5 for it probably.
Yeah, and I think right now it's like 20 for all the decks and stuff, but all DLC. But man, dude, like Magic was so much fun.
That's such a fucking gamble though too. You're like, maybe it'll have a bigger community, but then like you buy it and it's just like, okay, I guess I got a single player Magic game now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess I'll play Machinations again.
There you go. Guess I'll fucking grind for all these cards. That'll be fun for the next fucking 10 days, and then I'll fucking get rid of it. To be fair, I liked grinding for cards though. That was like something that I actually enjoyed.
No, it was I was just like, man, I really want that game. Because it was so much fun. Like when we played the first one,
it's not even like I want that game. It's like I want the current Magic game to be as good as that game was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not like, or better. You know what would be amazing is if games would actually improve over time. Like a series would like get better and better as it went on.
Let's talk about ones that haven't.
Stagnating.
BioShock, Magic, Duels of the Planeswalkers.
You know, I don't know. Like, people say that BioShock Infinite is really good. I still haven't played it. Have you played it?
Yeah, I own it on Steam. It was on like sale for like $8 or something, and so I just picked it up on the summer Steam sale. It's good. I liked it. I didn't finish BioShock 2. I didn't like BioShock 2 at all. I thought it was kind of garbage.
I like BioShock 2.
I thought
it was the Big Daddy, right?
I thought it was garbage. I liked it more than that, but it really doesn't feel like it has like. They're not called plasmids, they're called diggers. They're just plasmid, but you don't have the Eve
It's
anymore.
like the fucking gyms in Alola, right?
Yeah.
They're just gyms.
They have more options in this one. They have like more tricks. Like you can set a trap. Like if you hold it down, you use more. But you can set a trap where if they walk into it, they die. But like, and you don't carry around the stuff that gives you more. You have to find it like on the ground or in trash cans or searching. It's really like, and the only thing I don't like it because the story's really well written. The characters are likable and like it has a deep story. But your guns, like it's weird gunplay because you don't really use like in BioShock you would acquire guns and get upgrades. Like
you would acquire guns and then you just throw them all away and use the wrench. Yes, go on.
But you know how you would still be able to like cycle through the weapons, like you still have the weapon wheel.
Yeah.
That's not this. You can carry 2 weapons on you. You can carry 2 weapons.
So like Call of Duty style, basically.
Yeah, like you can carry an SMG and a sniper, or a bazooka and a pistol. Yeah. It's okay, but it's not for.
Another thing that I liked was that they all in BioShock they had like the upgrades to the guns, like the final upgrade would be like something really like crazy or whatever.
They have that in this. They have that in this one too, but so every time you pick up the gun, it has that upgrade, but it's just like weird because it's not equipped at all.
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
And like the little girl that's following
Like
you around, she like will like, hey, I got some ammo for you, and then throw you a gun, which represents ammo instead of just throwing you a magazine.
Yeah, I don't really like that. I think I would prefer basically, if you're gonna tell me like anything, like, oh, a game is more like Call of Duty now, I'm just gonna be like, I don't like that. They should be less like Call of Duty and more like the game.
I'm not gonna lie. BioShock 2's multiplayer was fun for like the day we played it.
Jesus Christ. That was so... Would it have been fun? I'm going to ask. Would it have been fun if there was a bigger community and we weren't playing against people who were like level 235?
I don't think it mattered. I mean, every time we played, I would just get in the Big Daddy suit and just wreck shop. That's all I did.
Because it would just spawn right next to you and you're just like... Oh, yeah, Big Daddy suit.
It did that one time. We were playing a match, and it fell twice right next to me. Like, I just happened to be at the spawn point and picked it up.
Fucking lucky asshole.
And I think I went on like a 25 kill streak without dying. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's one of those things. It's kind of the same deal as like the tanks in World at War. Like that's kind of like game breaking. Like I know that everybody has access to it, but like that's just such a big advantage that like getting lucky and like having it spawn next to you or having it spawn at a certain time, like when you're next to it. You know what I mean? Like it's sort of like critical hits in Pokemon. Like if you just got critical hits all the time, nobody would be able to beat you. So they add this like element of luck into the game where it's like, spawn right next to you. You can get it and win the game. Like, I don't know. I don't really like that, but
neither do I. But man, I mean, we had a lot of fun multiplayer games. I would still want to play Sniper again. Sniper Elite.
Sniper Elite was fun. I like Sniper Elite. It was so good. Like, I loved it whenever we were on like opposite teams, and it literally just became, I don't care that there are other people in this game. I'm trying to find Brett. Like I would kill somebody on your team and it'd be like, fuck, that wasn't you. And then I would just have to run somewhere because I knew that you would know where I was.
Yeah,
like,
and like,
that was such a good fucking
and you and I would be in a party chat. We wouldn't talk though, because we're like, maybe like we would think like, I don't know if we were thinking, but it was like we acted like it would give away our position. Like you would hear us in the other room.
That's exactly what I would fucking do. It would literally just be like 10 minutes of silence, and then one of us would be like, "Are you still there?" like we just wouldn't even fucking know if the other person was there. Because we don't want to fucking give it away. But there's no way it was going to give it away. It was just like a completely mental thing. Like, it's like when you, like, hold your breath, like, when you're doing something, like, in a game or whatever. Or, like, when you lean in your seat when you're doing something in a game. Like, you know it doesn't help, but, like, you just can't help it.
Yeah, or, like, mashing A on Pokemon.
B. I mashed B.
Yeah, everyone... I've heard that you mash A until the thing opens, and then once it closes at the top and does that little, like, shade thing, like, it goes dark, you hold A and B together.
But none of them work. None of them do anything.
Yeah.
It's just one of those, what's that shit called? It's,
placebo effect?
Confirmation bias, right? Like if you do that and then it just catches it, you know what I mean? Like if you're catching like a shitty Pokemon and it just happens to catch it on the time that you're doing that, then you're like, oh my god, I guess it must work. Even though realistically it's just, oh yeah, you caught it because that's the rules of the fucking game. Like you're gonna catch the shitty Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean it really is just ridiculous.
You know what we should talk about? Just like really quick, how awesome is it that in the new Pokemon games you get XP for fucking catching Pokemon? Isn't that fucking amazing?
Yeah, because you would sit there and fight like Mewtwo and try to like whittle them down and then 3 of your Pokemon would be knocked out because you can't actually kill him because literally,
I've done that before where it's like I'm on my last Pokemon and I'm just trying to catch him and I'm just fucking chucking balls at him. Oh my god.
And you're like, and you have to save your guy for sleep. Like, you're trying to sit there and save him for sleep and revive him, trying to keep him alive so you can sleep him.
Yeah, literally that would be the Pokemon that's still alive because all of the other ones were fucking fodder so that I could revive him. Like,
yeah.
and let's be real, that Pokemon is usually Butterfree. Like, if I have a Pokemon that knows a sleep-inducing move, it's probably Butterfree.
Oh, freaking Compound Lens, Compound Eyes.
Yep.
Yeah, fucking amazing Pokemon.
That shit's completely broken, like, in-game, because nobody ever switches. It's completely broken.
Oh, I know. Like, I was, it's broken in freaking online.
Yeah, it's about as broken as it is in Anything Goes. Like, yeah. And it's real broken in Anything Goes.
Well, that's what I'm, like, just Dark Void everything. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, and you just have to sort of, but then something will have a Lumberry, and you're like, oh, okay. Well, like,
don't worry, I have 5 more Dark Rides.
What ended up doing is they'd end up running Speed Boost Blaziken, and it would have a Lumberry specifically for Darkrai. Like, Lumberry got such a fucking boost, like, at least while anything goes was an actual format, Lumberry was like, I have to figure those stats were fucking off the chart. Like that spike in use had to be huge.
I want to talk to you about something. Should balancing in video games be based around the pro circuits and or rank of high-level players?
No, I don't think so.
Fucking exactly. Jesus Christ. If you ever go on the Rainbow Six Siege forums on Reddit, all it is people bitching about how this is broken, that is broken, and how it needs to be nerfed. And then every one of them goes, just a little word from a Platinum 2 or a Diamond rank. Like, that's high rank. I'm not gonna lie. That's super hard. And all I reply is, your rank means nothing. That's not a source of credibility.
Yeah, right? It's like, if anything, your rank means less because it means that you're playing the game differently than the average person.
And that's what I argue.
When you're trying to balance, balance the game, you're trying to balance it for everybody. So you have to sort of ignore the outliers.
The less than 1%.
You have to ignore the pro people, and you also have to ignore the people who just suck fat dicks regardless of what you do. Like, those are the ones that you have to ignore, and you have to try to balance it you have to try to balance it for as many people as you can. And obviously the pro circuit is going to be a very, very small group.
Well, because that's what I've always said. And also the pro circuit in Siege plays by altered rules, which does alter their choice of picks. They play with a minute less. So that's a fourth less time, which is just a huge amount of time and difference. And so when you have rule changes, everything comes into that. Like, I really hate that because people do argue like, well, if we make it cheap for the easier players, for the less good players, then the pro people are just going to run on it all day, and that's all it's going to be. And it's like, that's fine. This game, it's a video game. It's meant to be casual. I understand that it's a more competitive shooter.
Yeah, and you can ban shit in the pro circuits too. Like, just ban it in the pro circuit and leave it alone in the regular game.
Yeah, that's like, and like, because I disagree with some of the things that they nerfed recently, and and that's fine. I can have my own opinion, and other people can have theirs. But I just hate how people always throw out because one guy's like, we should listen to those people with high ranks because those are the ones who put investment in their game and who are going to spend money in the game and blah blah blah, this and that. I said, money, just because you play the game doesn't mean you're going to spend money. I've played this game all the way through, and the only DLC I've bought is a character DLC to unlock more operators to play with. So it's just and it comes with a map or something. Mm-hmm. So just regular plain old DLC. There's there's headgear and stuff. There's like actual aesthetic change, like you can pay like $5 for, or you can unlock through in-game currency.
Yeah, like time in game doesn't necessarily. It probably has some kind of correlation, but it doesn't necessarily equate to money spent.
Well,
Oblivion has like 6 billion DLCs, like micro DLCs that you can get, like horse armor and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how much fucking time I put into Oblivion, but I didn't buy any of them. The only DLCs I got were the ones that I got because I got the crazy good edition or whatever. The game, not the game of the year.
It is game of the year.
It's not the game. Is it the game of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the one that had the Shivering Isles and the Knights of the Nine DLCs, and I didn't get any other DLC because I'm not going to spend more money on the game than I've already spent if I don't feel it's necessary. That's not to say that they don't deserve it. I think that if I had spent money on it, that would be justified because I think that game is probably worth more than I paid for it.
Like, that's what I say. Like, sometimes, like, I bought Limbo twice, and people are like, why'd you buy Limbo twice? I go, I'm supporting the developer. I really want a second game, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, it was like $5 more. It was $5.
I would like it noted that Brett has now brought up Limbo again.
Okay. But no, it was
you want to tell everybody about how you got that achievement?
In Siege, I just was like talking to, like, that's what everyone bitches about, like, all the time.
He beat Limbo without dying 5 times.
Everyone downvotes me all the time because all I say is rank doesn't matter.
He streamed it on Twitch.
And people go, oh well, you don't care because you're a low level player and don't know what it's like to be in the higher ranks. When I'm in the higher ranks, I just don't brag about it because ranking up with a full party is a lot easier than going someone who doesn't. And then guy goes,
oh yeah, absolutely. Just in any game where you can communicate and shit, it's probably gonna be better.
Yeah, exactly.
Even in a game like Call of Duty where you can realistically win by yourself, having a full party makes it way fucking easier.
Exactly, because like I was playing a game, I was doing awful, but I was still communicating and providing some kind of intel to my team that they could use to win. And that's good enough, apparently, for some matches. But, like, some people go,
it's not good enough for me. Like, I would fucking, I would bitch you out for it, but, like,
I know, like,
other people aren't going to do that.
Crying, and I was so mad at myself because I couldn't play yet. I was having a life problem, like a huge life problem, and I was mad I couldn't play a game.
And then your fucking aunt calls you, and I'm like, tell her about how shitty you're doing in the game.
Yeah. No, I'm sitting there like, people always say, and then this one guy, he goes, I only solo queue alone. I rank up by myself. I'm a true veteran. I know you don't know what that's like. And I just posted back, I'm a diamond rank. I've never died in a single match. See how I can just say whatever I want to?
See how words have no meaning, realistically?
Yeah. Like, I love people who do that kind of stuff. Just say stuff. Like, I had a guy in high school that did that. He would always, like, tell lies. Like, one time he said he slept with a girl.
Yeah.
And so I said, he goes, I slept with this one girl. She was super hot, and I happened to be friends with the girl. I said, really? So I called her on speaker in front of everybody, and just kind of shot way down.
That fucking, like that Fuji song, fucking, where it's like, oh yeah, I was totally with Michelle Leslie Brown. He's like, Michelle Leslie Brown who lives on 221st Street, and he's like, yeah, Michelle Leslie Brown who lives on 220, and then they go, Michelle Leslie Brown who lives on 221st Street and plays ball in the park, and he's like, yeah, Michelle Leslie Brown who lives on 221st Street and plays ball in the park, and then they're like, oh, there she is, call her over, and then she's like, did you sleep with Jay? And he's like, oh, hell no, that's nasty. It's really funny.
Yeah,
if you guys haven't heard The Score by Fugees. It's a solid album. It's a really good rap album. And you should go listen to it.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That scenario happened, and I was like, woo, look at that, winner. I don't know.
Michelle Leslie Brown played ball in the park. Lives on 221st Street. No, not that Michelle Leslie Brown lives on 221st Street and played ball in the park. The other Michelle Leslie Brown.
People are ridiculous. Like that, like especially when people reset their accounts and reset their accounts and then go into games after they've already been like 10th prestige, you know, and then they have a name. Yeah, him. And
then they just use the Peacekeeper, and then Brett hates them for almost no reason. God, that was so funny how much, because I was just playing by myself. Like, I definitely played more Black Ops 2 than you did.
Because I only played with you.
I ended up playing this guy, and I noticed that he was, like, always in a full party, and he always used the Peacekeeper, and it was, like, pissing me off, but then it was literally just, I went, oh, shit, this guy right here, he's, like, always in a full party, like, because you came online. This guy's always in a full party, and he always uses the Peacekeeper, and you instantly hated him. It was literally, there was no time between me explaining who he was, and it was, oh yeah, he always uses the Peacekeeper, and you're like, fuck this guy, I'm gonna fucking kill him. I was like, whoa, holy shit, Brett, that's like way too much. I thought it was hilarious, but you went fucking, oh my God. And then you like started talking shit to him. Like you'd like go into game chat and like talk shit to him. Like never even played with him before. It's like, you motherfucker, I'm gonna fucking. It was fucking great. He still hasn't accepted my friend request, by the way.
That guy, does he still play or does he just give it up?
I don't think that he still plays. I think that's why he hasn't accepted my friend request, is because he doesn't play anymore.
I was mad. Fuck that guy.
Oh my God, that was fucking great.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any other topics that you want
to? Not really.
Okay. Sorry if I sound shitty, guys. I'm really sick, so.
Yeah, he got sick between segments here. Between topics, he got sick.
Yeah, I got sick between the news segment and this segment, or depending on if we use that shit from when you were in your dorm. Maybe I got sick between a segment and this event. Whatever. It's just what happens when you fucking have to sleep in the same room as two.
We'll just say them all. Like children. I got sick between the dorm, and we'll just say them all, and then you can edit out whatever one's right and be like, look at that.
Yeah. Just say all the fucking different segments. I got sick between the segment where we were talking about. Oh, no, we're not gonna do that. All right. Well, my next topic: if you could bring, and you have to think about all the consequences that this would have. If you could bring one mythological animal or being to life, like bring them into existence. They don't have to necessarily, like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to necessarily, like, pop up in front of you, but it just would exist in the universe.
Like, if I said, if I said, like, a panther, panthers would just be real in the wild?
Yeah, because panthers aren't real, so that's a good example. Like, what I'm going to say is that you bring it into the universe, and if it's a terrestrial being, then it is on Earth somewhere. So like if you say like God, because this would be like the fucking ooh crazy edgy answer. If you said God, that wouldn't necessarily mean God pops up right in front of you. It would just be, oh, God is real now. There is a God now. But if you said dragons, then there are now dragons on Earth. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Which one would you pick?
Dragons, but I'm not gonna do none of those fucking stupid, like, their arms are their part of their wings. I like the wings on the back where they actually have, like, feet and hands also, like four legs and then wings. I hate that dragon with 2 legs shit. So I'm gonna say dragons with 4 legs.
Fair enough. It's very specific. I'm gonna say dragons with 2 legs. No, I'm just kidding. I fucking wrote this down. I have no idea which one I would pick.
My dragons
I mean,
would kick your dragon's ass.
I know I wrote the fucking topic, but do I get to, like, pick which kind of, like, you know how
if you said, like, if I said panther, you mean like Black Panther or Blue Panther? Sure.
Or it's like, well, more specifically, I'm saying, like, there are different versions of, like a unicorn in Dungeons and Dragons has, like, magical fucking powers, like it can teleport you to different places and shit, whereas in, like, Harry Potter, it has magical properties, but it doesn't necessarily have magical powers, right? Like, you can drink its blood and you'll live forever, but that's not like a power. That's just something about it. You know what I mean? Like, saying that power is like saying that a carrot has the power of beta carotene. No, it's just a property.
No.
Do I get to pick which? I don't get to pick which one?
You get like we roll a D20 or whatever which one it is.
Nerd.
Yeah.
Fucking nerd.
Whatever a D20 is. I don't know. You tell me about them in your friendship with that Dungeons and Dragons guy after your D&D nights.
He really, honest to God, like, I would, if I could figure out some way to actually, like, play Dungeons and Dragons with him, I probably would. But, like, just the fact, I hate it too, because I guess I just look like a fucking nerd, because he made that reference, and then somebody else made a video game reference to me. I never talked to any of the people in the fucking debt meetings, but somebody made a video game reference, somebody made a Dungeons and Dragons reference, and then somebody made an anime reference, because they all just assume that I'm like a super nerd, which is like, that's not fair.
Did they like reference like episode like 450 of Bleach also?
Oh my God, it was Bleach. Jesus fucking Christ. That's what he was talking about. He made a reference, and I was like, I don't know what that is. And it was like, oh, I guess you don't watch Bleach. That's fucking weird that you just randomly picked that anime. That's all that I'm going to say. But yeah. So if I'd bring a mythological being to life, and I can't pick which kind of being, you would bring dragons to life, really? You would want dragons in this world?
Yeah.
They would kill everything. You understand this, correct?
I have guns.
But it's like, I would be the first firebender. They would teach me how to bend fire.
Exactly.
That's what the fuck
I'm
would
like
happen.
Uncle Iroh.
Yeah, Uncle Iroh.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And then you would get in jail, and you'd get super fucking ripped.
Yeah.
And then there would be a comet, and you would get the fuck out of jail, and you'd be a badass.
I was a badass from the beginning. You just didn't know it.
You know that fucking, you know that episode where it's him singing the song, the Brave Soldier Boy song?
Yeah, like the saddest episode in the world.
It's ridiculously fucking sad.
Yeah.
So fucking sad. Did you know that was, when it says at the end, like, in memory of Mako, that's, like, the voice actor for Uncle Iroh. Like, he died while they were making the show, so they had to get a new voice actor, and they made that episode, I guess, to you know, remember him or whatever. Like, they made that episode in honor of him as, like, a memorial.
Good question. Did they find someone that sounded exactly like him?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they do. I mean, shit, fucking Dumbledore died after the second movie. They just found a fucking another actor, I guess, who had a giant beard.
Didn't look anything like the original Dumbledore, though. Dude, that Dumbledore, I was surprised, got through any of the scenes. I thought he was going to keel over during anything.
The first one?
Yeah, the second one's great. I forget his name. He's actually really good.
Very feeble. It sort of seemed like he should have a cane, like whenever he was walking anywhere. I was like, wow, good for you, man. Look at you.
And and you watch. Oh, imagine watching like the newer Harry Potters and having him in there, like when Dumbledore like fights Voldemort, how action packed it is for the two old.
He would just be like, he would like have his walker out, like his walker would be his wand at that point. And he's just like, Sectum Sempra.
Yeah,
fucking ridiculous.
Like I always wondered what would happen if he didn't die.
Oh. I know. Mythological genies. I'd want genies.
Fair enough.
If I'm going to be specific, Aladdin genies. I want Aladdin genies.
All of them have to be voiced by Robin Williams.
Yeah, all of them. Posthumously voiced by Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. What year is it? All right. Well, that was... 14. I think that's a good one. I think that both of ours are probably, in the grand scheme of things, like bad choices.
Yeah.
I think that, honestly, having genies would fuck up the world probably more than dragons.
No, because here's what would happen with the first genie is, hi, I'm a genie, there's more of us, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I want 3 wishes. You get 3 wishes. First wish, there's no more genies besides you. Second wish, I want 3 more wishes.
I'm sure that it would have to have rules. I'm sure that there would be like, oh, you can't wish for more wishes. And then you're like, okay, I wish for all the genies.
No, you wish for no rules.
Oh, damn. I'd never even thought about it. Yeah, just I wish there were no constraints on what I could ask of you. And then now I would like infinite. That would you feel bad about that though? Like, oh, I would like infinite wishes. Fucking, okay, now you're just my slave. I would feel bad about it. I mean, maybe that's just like, I mean, obviously that's just like a cultural thing, like where I'd feel bad about. I mean, because it's just like it would just feel like slavery. Like there's no other, because it's like an intelligent being that can actually communicate. It'd feel like slavery. But what would your 3 wishes, if you, let's say that you could only have 3 wishes and there was a rule that said no wishing for no rules, and there was a rule that said no wishing for anything that could result in you having more wishes. What would your 3 wishes be?
I would wish for 3 doctorate degrees and then medical,
What?
engineering,
What the fuck?
and...
This is going fucking nowhere near where I expected that shit to.
I would also wish for a job that paid $500,000, but I only had to work 40 hours a week.
What in the motherfucker?
I would wish for a bank account with a 25% interest rate. That seems like 3 good wishes right there. Because if you wish for $1 million, you ruin the economy and your $1 million isn't worth $1 million.
No, you don't fucking ruin the economy.
Oh, fuck
they
that.
print more money every fucking day. How much more? Oh my god. No. I would wish for $1 billion. And here's what I would do. I would wish for a legal transfer of $100,000 from the top, what it would be, 1,000? No, it'd be top 10,000 richest people in the world. Then I'd have $1 billion. And it'd be completely legal, and there would be no impact on the financial situation of the world, except for that these top 10,000 richest people now are down $100,000, which they will probably make back in like less than a day.
12 seconds.
Yeah. So that'd be my first one. And you basically wasted all of your wishes on getting something that's worse than that. So there's my first one. I would wish for some kind of superpower. It would either be teleportation or like mind control. Like I could control people's minds. And can you do compound? Well, you can do compound wishes because you wished for 3 degrees. So that means that I could just save my last wish now that I'm basically set, right? If you can't make your way in the world with $1 billion and the ability to control people's minds, like if you need more than that, I feel like you probably your last wish should just be to kill yourself. Like that's like too.
Always got one
right?
on the back burner.
So I think my last wish would be, and this is gonna sound cheesy, but it would be for an end to starvation and thirst in the world, because I feel like if you end those things, like if there's some magical way. No, it can't be that.
How about you just wish for the CEO of Nestle to have to...
Just to fucking... I wish Nestle didn't exist. Like, because it can't be an end to starvation and thirst because that would result in overpopulation. There'd be too much waste and we would all die. Fuck.
I would wish for... You know what? Here, use your last wish on a gallon of chocolate milk that always refills.
I would prefer strawberry milk.
Yeah, do whatever, dude. I like chocolate milk.
Wouldn't that ruin the economy more than wishing for the $1 billion?
No.
You got an infinite supply of strawberry milk? Yeah, because that's infinite money, Brett. It's literally sell each glass for a penny and you still have infinite money.
Where do you get the glasses from?
You could probably get like cups, like plastic cups for less than a penny a piece.
Okay.
Infinite money.
Really
you just fucked the entire global economy, Brett.
If you ask for $1 billion, just asking straight up, it would ruin the economy too, because it produces more money just randomly.
It wouldn't ruin the economy because the economy is in the trillions, so it would be insignificant enough. It might make the economy dip a little bit, but realistically, it wouldn't be the same as infusing the market with that money because it's still like pocketed away in my bank account. It's not the same thing.
Real quick, I read this the other day. I just want to say this. So you know how...
Ooh, I would wish for the nicest pair of over-the-ear headphones. No. Yes. No. Ooh. I would wish for a bed that I could get into it and... No. Fuck. No. I would wish for the power to induce myself to fall asleep instantly. So no more like laying on the bed and just fucking thinking about shit all the fucking time. I just want to be able to pass the fuck out whenever I want. It has to be on my command. It can't be anything else that anybody else can trigger. That's what I want. I want the power to make myself fall asleep instantly. And that might seem like a waste of a wish, but I have the fucking worst trouble falling asleep. It's the worst. So that's what I would... No. I would wish to not be on...
Nope, can't take it back. Nope, you already used your wish.
So
you already wished. So
okay,
you're done.
I'll keep that last wish. I think that's a good wish.
Okay. I don't know if you've heard about this. I know we usually do news at the beginning and save news for the next time. This news, though, is just groundbreakingly dumb that I think it should be on here. So, Fallout 4 and Skyrim, we're going to have mods on the consoles, on Xbox and PS4. Sony pulled out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane to me. Like, and Bethesda is pissed at them. They are so fucking mad.
And Sony's not saying anything about it either. They're just like, oh, we're not going to have them on there.
Oh, I know. I mean, it's just like, that's like, oh, I mean, that sucks if you own a PS4, but Jesus Christ. Like, and that really does hurt their sales, because I'm going to go tell my roommates, and they were probably going to buy Skyrim Remastered for their, I was going to buy it for my computer, but, they're going to go buy it, and now they're going to be upset.
Don't buy it for the computer. Why would you buy it for the computer? I mean, I guess if you want to support them, but, like, that's the only argument for buying it on the computer, I feel. Because if you buy it, there are already mods on the computer that could give you probably a better experience than what you're going to get with just playing Skyrim Remastered.
I was going to buy Skyrim on the computer.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't going to buy the remastered. I think if you buy Skyrim anyway, you get the remastered for free. So
fucking Bethesda, man.
Yeah.
That's why they're my favorite developer.
Like, I like how Sony is like, well, we just don't know what kind of content. It's an M-rated game anyway. Essentially, they're talking about boob mods and stuff, like, you know, the nude mods. That's all they're worried about. And it's like,
because they know that M rating doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, I just don't understand. That M rating means something. I can walk into a freaking
Did you hear,
store.
I guess this is sort of related to what you're talking about. Did you hear that Russia today banned YouPorn and I think Pornhub? It banned both of those websites. And when people like were asking like, oh, you know, what do I do or whatever, or like, are there any alternatives? The Russian the response from the government was, how about you go out and meet somebody? That was their fucking response. I was like, they're completely different things. Jerking off and like having sex, completely different fucking things. One of them is just you with a computer, and the other one requires another active participant. Like, I can't control if a woman wants to have sex with me. Like, I can do everything in my power to make that prospect seem tantalizing, but at the end of the day, it is her decision whether or not she wants to have sex with me, unless what Russia's saying is just go out and rape women. Is that what they're saying? I mean, they're completely ignoring the fact that you need another active participant to do what they're asking you to do.
Man, dude, I don't know if I told you this. They banned cigarettes in December 1st, starting where I live in St. Louis County. Starting December 1st, you have to be 21 to purchase tobacco products.
So you won't be able to get your mom cigarettes?
No, I won't be allowed to buy cigarettes anymore.
That's funny.
It's a really weird thing to say. I won't be able to do it anymore. Like,
I'd never thought about that because I've never been in like that age range where a legislative action like would affect me. Like, I've never, you know what I mean? Like,
you were 18, but that, it just never crossed my mind that could happen, that you could ban cigarettes.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I've never been in the affected age range when something like that happened. Yeah. Like, they never were like, oh, hey, you know, you have to be, 20 to do this thing, whereas before you had to be, like, 16. I've never been in that age range between 16 and 20.
It's just a weird, like,
system. That would be weird.
Like, just being...
That would definitely be weird.
I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't do this one thing that I used to be able to do.
I think on Guam it's 21. I'm pretty sure it's 21 on Guam to get.
Yeah, but
but that only applies on the military bases because everybody else just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, so, but I'm just saying here it's like,
or
this
also
is a rule that got
on
advanced.
Guam apparently the big thing is betel nut instead of tobacco, where people just get these things off of trees. Like, they'll climb up the fucking tree and they'll get this, like, bushel of nuts, and then they'll go boil them, and they'll chew on them, and apparently it gives you the same high as tobacco. But I'll be honest with you, whenever I smoke, like, a cigar or something, I don't get a high, I get nauseous. That's what happens to me. So, if that's what they're going for, I mean, if that's... Maybe my nauseous is the same as other people's high? Is that what I'm picking up here? I guess it's like such a big problem that they have to like have signs in bathrooms where it's like, don't chew betel nut in here. Like, because the people like spit it out like chewing tobacco. And they're like, don't do that. Don't spit betel nut into the fucking toilet or into the sink. Blah, blah, blah. It was weird though, because one time we were getting ready to go somewhere and like a car pulled up into my sister's driveway. And they were like, hey, we wanted to climb that tree to get those betel nuts. And, like, the tree was, like, on her property. And my sister was, like, really freaked out because there was just, like, these three strange dudes that just pulled up into her driveway and got out. And then she's like, you talk to him. So I went over and talked to him. Couldn't understand their fucking accents at all. So I just, like, yadded my way through the conversation. I was just like, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. And it was odd to me because the tree that they climbed was, like, perfectly vertical, and all that they used to climb it was like a tiny little rope that they hooked their feet into. It was fucking weird. I couldn't do it. Impressive, though. They definitely deserved those fucking nuts. They deserved it. Sorry, but continue going. You are not allowed to buy tobacco products anymore?
Yeah. Just like a crazy idea. Like, I'm not allowed to purchase tobacco, and I don't smoke. It just affects me like in a weird way where...
I mean, fuck, maybe you wanted to start smoking. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. However, where I live, I have a beard most of the time. I get carded more for video games than I do cigarettes, so that's fun. I finally asked a GameStop employee, I go, why do you guys card me? Like, why do you card even though people... They go, the rule our manager sets is if you don't have gray hair, we card you. I go, wow, that is a...
One time I bought, when I was like a little kid, I would always, like, it was always thrilling to me to try to buy like R-rated movies or M-rated games. And one time I literally bought, it was a video game, and it was called The Guy Game. And it was basically, it's just porn as a video game. And like you have to answer trivia questions. And if you answer the question right, then they'll like no, it wasn't. It was M. There are like videos of girls, and they'll get like naked if you answer the question right. Apparently it's banned because one of the girls in the game was underage, so it's like illegal to fucking sell it or whatever. But I remember like buying it, and I never had an experience where they were like, oh no, I can't sell this to you. But this guy in particular like stands out as being like kind of creepy, like he knew that what he was like, he shouldn't be doing what he was doing. Because I went up and gave it to him, and then he didn't say, oh, you know, is your parent here? Like, is one of your parents here? Can they buy this for you? He literally just goes, if I sell this to you, you're not going to tell your mom where you got it, right? I was like, it just felt like a weird thing to say, like being like, oh, I'm complicit in this action. Like, it was just really weird. And also the implication that I would let my mom know that I have a porn video game. Like, am I just that fucking, do I look stupid? I don't know.
I never bought, like, I went to the GameStop over where my college is in Rolla. Rolla, again, for people who don't know, it's a town in Missouri. It's 20,000 is the population, 10,000 of that's the school. So, yeah, the population dips every year for 3 months. Like, half. So, I went to GameStop, and they have a freaking burned copy of Minecraft on the desk. Like, it looked like it was lit on fire. And
I thought you were saying, like, it was, like burned, like somebody, like, ripped it to a CD. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it was, like, ripped on fire, like, burnt on... Wow. It was burned in, like, a house fire. And I finally asked him, I go, what happened? He goes, oh, that's a game. It was in a house fire. I go, yeah, I can see that. He goes, that's us to show that we'll return any game if you pay for the insurance. It's not a bad idea. I go, God damn it, you fuckers got me again with this fucking advertising. Like, you guys keep trying to, like, throw it in my face. Because they really do. They always want to be like, oh, you want the disc protection for a year? It's like $2 more. I go, nah, I'm fine. Because for one, Blu-rays, hard as hell to scratch. Like, you can handle them pretty rough, and they won't scratch. And two, I'm not a child. And, like...
Yeah.
And if I have a house fire, the last thing I'm thinking about is my Minecraft video game.
Basically, and if honestly, yeah. Like, the only way that anything is gonna happen to my games or anything is if there is, like, a disaster like that, and it's like, oh, you know, if my video games get broken and that's all that gets broken, then it's like, yes, good, that's fine.
But the potential of that...
Because, like, realistically, like, for me, and it's sort of always been this way, if my game isn't in the tray, it's in the case. Maybe not the case, but it's in a case. Because, like, sometimes I'll go and I'll get a game, and then I'll just take the game out and I'll put it into the case of the game that I'm about to play. And then eventually I'll have to do, like, a resorting of them all. Yeah. Like, to be like, oh, this one goes in this case. They're
not just sitting on the table, like, upside down.
Yeah, no, they don't. And it makes me a little bit nauseous, like nauseated whenever I see somebody doing that. Like whenever I see like a disc like just on the fucking thing, I'm just like, how the fuck do you have any discs that work? How do you, like, honestly?
I don't know. Are we allowed to include pictures in the? If I provide you the picture, will you include it in the podcast? Like, at the time of the story that I want to say?
No. I would rather not make this a habit, I'll be honest with you.
I don't want to make it a habit.
If you would like... because we can't do that on SoundCloud anyway, so it doesn't...
They can go to YouTube.
If you would like, I guess you can talk about it, and then you can link it in the description of the YouTube video. You can go and edit the description after I put it up and just put this, this is the thing.
Like in a Dropbox. Yeah. I used to put them in the cases. Now I put them in a CD case, like for music. I use that now because I had a Black Ops that had that ring, and pushing on that button to take it in and out of the case so much actually ripped that ring. So only like where you put your finger, that little middle ring.
Yeah.
So only like 1/4 of the ring is still there.
Ooh, damn.
And fractures are going towards the like data part of the disc. So I don't put them in.
Those fucking rings in like I know what you're talking about, the thing that you're supposed to like push down, right? And like that's how you're supposed to get it out. Those things, like, I feel like there needs to be some sort of universal standard for those, because those things are so inconsistent with the amount of force that it takes to get the disc out.
And that's why I
switched over. Like, and sometimes I feel like I'm gonna like snap the fucking disc, and I'm like, no.
And that's what I'm saying.
I don't like it.
That's what happened. Was like it was slowly chipping to the point where it actually started, and then it started fracturing more and more. My friend took the game to get buffed because he messed it up when he had it over at my house, or I let him borrow it, and he messed it up, and he's like, I got it buffed for you. If it didn't buff, I was gonna get you a new one. He took over to Family Video to get it buffed, which is a rental store, and they said, I don't know how this one still works.
Damn.
I know. I was like, yeah.
Meanwhile, I take care, like, I don't have any fucking snaps or anything, or any cracks or any scratches on my discs, but my Xbox has my 360, not my Xbox One, has always been so fucked up that it can barely play anything anyway.
It wasn't like my Xbox.
And shit. Oh, it's the worst.
I've never broken a disc like that, but
that was always fun, by the way. I know that like you like got used to it, but it was always fun explaining whenever I was the host of a game and like I could hear, like I wasn't playing with you, so I was in game chat. I could just hear everybody on my team when I was playing Black Ops. They'd be like, oh, lag. And I would have to plug my mic in and be like, it's not lag, it's my Xbox. Sorry, I'm the host. And then I would just unplug my fucking mic again. It was really fun.
I like when my Xbox failed where I had to like slap it as the disc was going in, and we would party with people who didn't know. And so they would be like, "What?"
Oh, it's a fucking bear! Oh, it's a plastic bear!
Oh, Jesus! I put him off this time,
plastic that I could slap so that I could simulate the fucking sound, but it was literally just him beating the shit out of his fucking Xbox.
Just slapping.
Just every time we wanted to play a game, just fucking. It doesn't work on the table, but yeah, it was. Yeah, there's a plastic bear. Oh God, I'm being attacked.
Because it wouldn't read unless it was hit as the disc was like finally inserting. Like it was like you had like a half a second window to get that slap. So I just learned to slap the whole time.
Were you getting like the open tray thing whenever it didn't read it? Okay, because I had that same problem, and my solution wasn't as sophisticated as yours. You know, like you were beating on the thing. I opened it up and I like actually fixed the fucking problem. Like that was what I did. But your solution worked as well, I guess.
It's like wishing away the rules and wishing for infinite genius. Same thing.
Oh my God. How the fuck did your Xbox still work? Like I took like great care of mine. Like I would clean it out and shit, and like fucking I rarely, if ever, like hit it to get anything to work. And you literally beat your fucking Xbox every goddamn day, and it still was like, oh yeah, I'll go. But that open tray error kind of, it had like a weird effect on me to where like if it didn't work, I would be upset. But then when it did work, I would be so happy that it worked that my experience of the video game would be like heightened. Like I would be happier about playing the video game than if it had worked just like a regular fucking Xbox should work. Yeah. I don't know. It was a weird, like the denial of the enjoyment kind of made it better. All right. Well, that was a good topic. So that is the mythological animal. The topic was the Skyrim thing.
Yeah, the Skyrim.
And then it fucking moved into something.
Beating Xboxes.
Yeah. All right. My next topic is, what is your favorite song of all time?
Get Swifty.
Gotta get Swifty in here. I'm totally gonna make that shirt, dude. I'm gonna put I decided on Stay Swifty is what I'm gonna put on the back.
Oh my God. My fucking roommates kept saying Swifty. Like, gotta get Swifty in here. Gotta get Swifty. And like at first I kind of like let them say it because I'm like, they can't, they're messing it up on accident.
They're doing it on purpose to fuck with you.
Yeah, and then I go, you know it's Swifty, right? They go, oh yeah.
From Mr. Bulldogs. Shit on the floor. Take off your pants and your panties. It's time to get Swifty in here.
Yeah, no, it's
Love that show.
Yeah, we were watching the one. I'm introducing my roommate to it, and he'll be like he's funny about it. Cause he's like, Brett, are you gonna play any games tonight? Like, are you gonna get on Xbox? I go, yeah, probably not. You know, I've got some things to do. He goes, can can we watch Rick and Morty?
So fucking good, dude. It's so fucking good.
I'm like, yeah, we can watch Rick and Morty. So we watch 2 episodes at a time. Like, I make sure I'm, like, stringing it out for them.
It's a good idea. You're not going to be able to string it out long enough because the next fucking episodes aren't coming out until 2017. But, whatever. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I know.
But seriously, what's your favorite song, though?
Please Don't Leave Me by Pink.
Really? That's your favorite song ever?
I don't know. You throw me on the spot. Yeah, it's good. It's in a montage. Some people say it's not montage worthy. I think it is. YouTube.com/RightFark.
My favorite song of all time is Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, for sure. And it's basically my rule is for a song to be one of my favorite songs of all time, there can't be any hesitation when it comes on. Like, I can't ever, if I ever think, I should skip this, then it can't be my favorite song. And that song, I've never even once in my entire life, when that song comes on my iPod, I've listened to the song probably like 150 times at this point. Every time I'm like, oh yeah. Because it starts out weird. It starts out, let me play it. I'm going to play the first part, how it starts out.
Do you know what song I like the beginning of, but don't like the rest of? Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne.
It's a good song.
Yeah, but I like it more in the beginning, like the very beginning, like section with the like the Man Dark Left.
All aboard! Doom, 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 doom. You don't like that part, or do you like the other part?
I hate when they go, all aboard the crazy train. Like, I actually hate when they start singing.
Right. I started singing the fucking Danger Zone song. Alright, let me play the beginning of this song. So that's the beginning of the song. And basically every time it comes on, because it's so quiet, I think that my iPod just stopped playing music. But then I'll go and I'll look and I'll be like, oh shit, it's Wish You Were Here. And I'm like, yeah, let's fucking do this. I love this song. I honestly think this might be like a perfect song, like an actual perfect song.
My girlfriend hates
amazing.
My girlfriend hates when I play music on my phone whenever I'm in the car with her. She goes, you have the same playlist. We listen to the same songs, Brett. I go, yeah, because when I'm in the car by myself, I don't listen to this. I listen to podcasts the whole time. So to me, it's like I haven't heard this music in a while. So
speaking of which, are you liking that D&D podcast more?
I started episode 2 because I liked the end of episode 1. Then I'm like, oh, this is kind of boring again. They're in the encounter with the zombie guy from the beginning. I don't know if you remember any of it.
I do not. I'm on episode fucking 20 or something.
Yeah.
I'm on episode 20.
Didn't realize there was 4 people. I thought there was 3.
Right? Those 2 guys' voices sound exactly the same.
Yeah, like I
don't like saying that because you always hear people say that shit about everybody on the internet. Like whenever there are 2 people in a video, they're like, oh, these guys sound exactly the same. But those guys literally sound exactly the same. I'm on episode 20 and I still have trouble telling the difference. The only reason that I know there are more than 3 people is because they introduce them individually. And it sucks because their names are so fucking similar, like their character names. It's Tom and Tum. Yeah. Like, seriously, come on.
For the whole episode, I thought Tom was just a mean way to say Tom because he made like a joke at that.
Yeah.
So I just assumed.
Please call me Darkblade. Call me Darkblade. I think that's a funny joke, and they kind of abandoned that joke, which is a shame because I thought it was probably their best joke.
He would be like, yeah, I'm skilled in many things, just not this one thing.
I am skilled in many things, just not this thing.
Yeah.
I'm very good at looking around. I'm good at
he goes, can I do a door open, like a thief check on the door? He's like, and then he like rolls. He goes, I got 15, and the dungeon master goes, it wasn't locked.
Yeah, it kind of starts out slow, I would say, because most of the people playing have never played Dungeons. Like even the DM admits, like I played Dungeons and Dragons like a long time ago, and then this is my first time getting back into it. So it goes slow because they're still figuring out the rules. And at the point where I'm at, they've had like audience interaction where they're like, hey, you're fucking up all of the rules. You might want to, fix this. So it's like, I would say that it's getting better, but I don't know. I think it's deep. I'm not going to say it's like an amazing podcast. You know what I mean? Like it's
something else to listen to than the Internet Box and the Rooster Teeth pod or the Drunk Tank.
It's good enough, right? Like, sure. I'll do it. Like, I'm not clamoring for more episodes, especially given the fact that there's like 150 episodes of it. Like, I'm not like, oh, I need more of it.
Everyone here, like and subscribe this video, or SoundCloud bit. I don't know how SoundCloud works. I don't know if we're gonna abandon SoundCloud or how that's gonna work. Where you can only listen to...
I don't think we're gonna abandon SoundCloud. I think we're just gonna have we're gonna have the most recent episode on SoundCloud, and then if they want to hear the other episodes, they have to go on YouTube, because we just don't. I'm not gonna fucking pay for SoundCloud Premium, are you? No, but I already answered it for you. Nobody's paying for that shit.
Donovan, this is gonna be a secret between you and I. I'm looking into building a website so we can have more than one of these fuckers on there.
I don't think you should do that. I honestly, I don't think that...
It's just gonna be the gorilla.
Until I get out of Guam, I don't think we should be investing basically anything.
I was going to look for the free one, so like www.blogspot.advertise.podcast.com.
But the problem with those free ones is that they have upload limits. So like, unless you have your own server for your website, you're going to have upload limits. And even on your own website, I guess technically you could run out of space on your server. So... it would be cool, I don't know the process of getting on iTunes, but it would be cool if we could get on iTunes. But once again, I feel like we shouldn't be on iTunes because our upload schedule is so inconsistent. You know what I mean? And like, I know that most of that's probably my fault. I mean, because I can't record at certain times, and then also I take a long ass time to edit the podcast.
And I can't talk apparently in front of my roommate. Apparently I just shut down.
Yeah, I'm gonna send that shit to you. You should listen to it because it really, like, did you get that video that I sent to you of you just like, I think it was Squirtle and Cubone and Wolf Turtle and Charmeleon.
Yeah, like out of the podcast, I'm like, fucking yeah, bitches, woo! And then like going get in front of the mic with my roommate. This is Brett Vargas coming into you live at the Missouri.
It's like a goddamn museum tour. I'm like, why the fuck are you talking like that? That shit was ridiculous.
Yeah, my one of my roommates saw my snowball and he goes, "Is that a speaker?"
Wow, your snowball looks fucking weird too, though.
Yeah, good thing
because it's all shiny.
Yeah, good thing it doesn't say like blue microphone on it or anything.
Does it say microphone on yours? Mine just says blue.
It has this like white or this black band that goes around it.
Yeah, mine doesn't say microphone. It just says blue.
Well, the front of it says blue.
Going off of memory because I haven't seen it in fucking 2 years. But yeah, I don't think that we should be investing any more resources into this. Like honestly, I just think that if we're, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. We're just so fledgling at this point that I just don't think that it would be wise of us to try to push our bounds. But if we could figure out a way to get on iTunes, I guess that would be fine.
You need an RSS feed though, and I think that you get that from having a website, right?
So you need a website to get on iTunes?
I think you have to link it, through iTunes. That kind of like, essentially you send the file link, I guess, through iTunes, and it downloads from the...
Yeah, because I know that there's no way that iTunes is storing all the podcasts themselves.
Yeah, like, so I think it's just kind of like a gateway thing that they allow. So that's why I was saying the only way to get it on iTunes is to create, www.blogspot.adisgreat.podcast.com.
I don't think that... I mean, do you want to do... Like, you can if you want to.
I was going to do it for the free one. I'm not going to pay for it because I figure... It's just another thing to, like, I guess I could learn to do just for fun. Kind of like why I got into, like, making videos is because I just wanted to learn to edit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you want to do it, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like
So, everyone who's not listening to this, there may or not be... There may or may not be a website that's going to be coming out soon.
Chad and Reyes, if you want to go check out blogspot.catfarts.biz.net, go ahead and check it out.
Yeah.
But
I'm literally, this is like a soft promise. Like, we're looking at like...
This isn't even a promise. Don't even call it a promise. This is
don't
even
call it like a website. Just call it like a cloud memory or something. It's not even a thing yet.
It's not even pretend it's a thing. It's just like this is an idea. This is a This is an idea that has already been accomplished by many, many people, but for us, it's pretty unlikely it's going to happen.
On that note, I gotta go. Gotta go to Walgreens because they kind of fucked up my prescription and all this. So I'm gonna go.
Okay. All right. I didn't realize
continue...
that we were doing the sign off there. All right. Fair enough.
You can continue the podcast, I guess, if you want, by yourself. That would be weird.
All right. That would be hard to do. Can't record myself, but
just shout.
Sure. All right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Would have been cool if you'd told me this was the ending, but I guess I'm finding out with the listeners.
Okay. Well, well, it's like the website. You're finding out in the podcast of news that I have in like store, maybe.
All right. So, yeah, I guess that was just weird because it felt like weird the way that it I don't know. It just felt weird. You should definitely tell me if you're going to fucking do that because it's just blindsided me with it.
That's what they call me, Michael.
All right, so yeah, I guess if you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on SoundCloud, follow or like or
dislike.
subscribe.
There's no such thing as bad publicity. I really don't know.
Do you subscribe on SoundCloud, or is that not a thing that you do?
What does Cheyenne or whatever our lovely
Cheyenne Reyes, go ahead and leave a comment. Tell us what you do on SoundCloud. We don't really know. I've never used SoundCloud besides putting this podcast on there.
I've never used SoundCloud besides looking at SoundCloud.
Yeah, and then I guess go to our Twitter and look at our Twitter. And
yeah, it's at PST podcast.
PTSD is it's at PTSD in my memories .hatemail. Fucking yeah, no.
Family abuse.
So yeah, and then email at us. Fuck me, I'm fucking sick.
Email. You know what? Send any questions that you may or might not have about our sexuality, what we do in our free time, if Donovan's single, all that. Send it to vargasbrett17@yahoo.com. All questions will be answered on the
fuck? Why would you have them send it to the podcast email?
Oh, there's a podcast email. I guess you can send me personal questions if you want. Yeah, send it to whatever.
It's please stop talking podcast@gmail.com, right?
Yeah, you can send questions there. It won't answer all of them because either A, there'll be
also,
zero questions.
Also, make sure that you bitch at Brett for ducking out of the fucking recording, even though we never get a chance to record. And just make sure that you bitch at him and let him know that he is being a cunt right now.
Yeah, for nerve
by
damage.
just leaving halfway through the recording. I have so many topics, you guys, and we're never gonna get to.
We ran through a lot of them on the never to be released podcast episode.
We don't even know if that's never gonna be released. That could be the next. I mean, this is definitely gonna be episode 4, right? This part's gonna be episode 4.
Yeah, well, just like how my cousin makes references to
part of episode 5.
Well, like my cousin makes references to the podcast. He'd be like, "You were really funny on episode 3. That one bit you had, okay."
Like we have topics like Emma Watson looks like a teenage boy, and we have Deadpool and Pokemon Go, I guess. And
are we gonna get around to yeah, okay, yeah, do all that. Send us questions or comments, concerns, whatever, to the email at pleasestoptalkingpodcast.
And how's that Kickstarter coming along? And Legend of Cool.
Maybe if I have a Kickstarter, I'll link it. And you can send your pennies to Donovan.
That's just one of my topics is how is that Kickstarter going along?
Along with this maybe website that's probably not going to happen anyway, but I talk about it anyway. Yeah, I think that's a good ending. Let's just cut it. We're just
also
rambling.
Never going to happen. I have to go buy headphones.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I also have to fucking work out. You know what's the worst is working out while you're sick.
Yeah.
Should we add anything to my list of things to avoid talking about?
No. I think we're fine. Bye, guys.
Politics, rooster teeth, and being mean to people we know personally. Yeah. We already talked. Did we talk? I mean,
we need to have Desiree. I'm gonna see if I can get Desiree on. Man, I'm gonna try to do an interview with Desiree. So
she said that she listens to the podcast.
Desiree, get in contact with me so you and I can do an interview. I'm gonna interview you. You can text me at the email, and I will send you personally my phone number.
One of my topics is everything bad about Guam, and it's like a 7-page list of just fucking items that are shitty about Guam.
I really gotta go.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to fucking stall.
I gotta go, guys. I'll Brett Varg signing off, and you got hit. Oh wait, hold on. Chuck a load of pain signing off, and you just got hit by a Brett Varg.
Yeah, we're done.
Now we're done.
All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next time. Or we won't see you because it's a podcast. So one of my topics. Fuck, dude. I'm sorry. All right, you can go, man. Okay. I'll see you later. I'll talk to you later, and we'll see you. Peace.
Okay. Oh.
Hold on, let me get a Diet Coke before we start this thing now.
What's up, guys? This is Donovan and Brett coming at you with the that was the gayest. Did I just say coming at you? Oh my god! We're coming with loads all over the place at you guys. No, that was terrible. I'm gonna restart that.
No, you're using that. That's the intro.
I'm gonna edit this. So go find yourself.
I got it this week. Don't worry. But you deserve a
vacation. You don't get to do that. We can't do that every podcast, by the way. And you can't pretend like I fuck up intros as much as you fuck up intros. So fuck yourself. Also, I need to do this anyway. I need to I'm recovering from an illness, from an ailment. All right, what's up, guys? This is Donovan coming at you with fuck me. Then my 1 second. I'm gonna edit this part out. All right.
I would wish for, because you really can't. Okay. Okay.